Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to Rise and Shine College Football. I'm your host, Jason Watkins, and if you love college football, you know you're in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring a bell so you don't miss one moment of Hall of Fame college football. Are you guys really like busting a move in the chat? Nobody is like this crew. I can tell you that. Nobody is like this crew. I love it. It's great. Welcome into the show, everybody. Welcome. I was actually trying to see what it was that Kirby is over here talking about. Everybody's on pins and needles because we don't know exactly what's going to come out of this. And he's talking about some of it has to do with the it feels like what he's saying is he's talking about the house settlement and what's going to end up happening. But welcome into the show, everybody. Logan Lickey, Ryman Lemon. Yeah. 5 till midnight. Big Rob, Comanche Sooner. What's up? Let's see. Who else we got? Billy on. Jimmy Satterfield, Sooner in Texas, and the Seatbelt Mafia. What's up, D? How we doing? JD Piquel is having a cream dream over John Mateer right now. Yeah, a lot of them are. I wish they just stay sleeping. I just wish a lot of these folks would stay sleeping. They could be sleeping like I wish everybody was kind of acting a little bit more like Brandon Walker. Oh, Brandon Walker. I got that guy pissy. He is pissy and just, I'll tell you, the guy has rabbit ears for being a creator that talks shit every time he hits the air. He sure does get all sensitivity. Like, what's up there, dude? What's up, Kimberly K? Hello. Yeah, it's but oh, Brandon Walker, man. I got that dude all pissy. It's funny. And you know me, you know how I get. I'll just keep on. Every time he says something back, I just get a little more smart assy. I've been calling him Mr. Sensitive for about a day and a half now. He don't like that. Oh shit. Hey man, for real. Had a heart procedure for seatbelt? Oh, damn. Man, shout out to Makari and yeah, definitely pressure going up, man. That's not what I expected to see. Yeah, he's a total tool. Total tool. That is not what I expected to see, man. What's up with that? Golly. I hate that. Yeah, he definitely is. Yeah, man. Do you know what happened? I mean, do you have any idea about what happened or anything? Hit me up if you need to or whatever, but wow. Wow, man, that's terrible. Makari Vickers. Everybody throw your make sure you're saying some prayers for Makari Vickers and his family right now. I don't know what exactly it is, but a heart procedure, that doesn't sound good for a young kid like that. So not cool. Definitely in our thoughts and prayers. Definitely. Damn. All right. Yeah, okay. Thanks, man. Yeah, let me know whatever, but and I'll get a hold of his family too if I can. I've got his pop's number too. So SEC Mike and Shane yesterday had Oklahoma upset in Michigan, Alabama, and Texas. Go check it out. Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. They had a little graphic about it, but that's wild. That is it's kind of weird because Mike has been kind of back and forth off of whether he thinks OU's good or not. If he's got a Texas creator on or whatever, then he's talking Texas shit. But if not, he seems to be. He enjoyed his visit to Oklahoma last year on that. Welcome to the SEC deal. when they did the June 1st deal or whatever. But yeah, I think it. I don't know, man. We'll see. I know that. I don't know what I really think about all these people that are jumping on board now. Although I think that if you have a brain in your head, you should be knowing that this isn't going to be the same type of deal this year. And I mean, just health will go such a long way, and having a scheme that makes any little bit of sense. So yeah, you know what I mean. I would think that the more that you look at it, um, the more you look at the schedule and you look at I was kind of breaking down. I think what we're going to start doing is breaking down each game. I'm probably not like Kent State and or Temple and stuff like that, but start Michigan and then obviously Auburn and stuff like that. So yeah, and I listen. I think I think it would be tough. uh, It's a tough one to beat Tennessee, I think, on the road. But the thing about it is I think that as crazy as it gets at Neyland Stadium, as long as if you get on there and kind of take the crowd out of the game early, then you could have your way with them. I just don't know what that's why I want to start breaking some of this down. I'm going to start doing a little more research on some of these folks and just kind of see where they're at. We were going to have Coach Smook in here in just a bit, talking about this. Coach Smook's been he's been on this quarterback battle, and I've been wanting to hear what he has to say. And I've heard a little bit on his show and stuff, but I don't think that Greg McElroy's basically saying that I think he's got well, I don't know if he's the incumbent, but the upperclassman as leading the way is what he was saying, and Smook is saying nah. So, which I like that. I like seeing that and the thing is he's more connected than I think you know people are giving him credit for most of the time. So that's why I kind of wanted to bring him on and be able to kind of talk about that a little bit. But yeah, you got McElroy saying that Ty Simpson is separating himself, but you're really not hearing that from anybody else. So we'll see what he says when he gets in here. He said he'd be here in about 20 minutes after we get on. So hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to him for just a little bit. But listen, I do want to break down some of these games and some of these teams as to where they are right now. Obviously, things are going to change a little bit. It's a lot about what it looks like about what Kirby Smart is talking about concerning the spring portal. He thinks that it can get wild. But one of the things that he said in his little, I mean, it was a short clip, or it was about a 2-minute clip that I was watching, but he was talking about that everything that they're doing and with the house settlement and stuff is to bring competitive balance or parity and stuff like that, which is, I don't know why he's trying to sell that, because of all people that doesn't want competitive balance, damn good and well that Kirby Smart doesn't want competitive balance. So I don't know why he's selling that one. But if you remember that, Saban was trying to sell that, that load of crap to people a few years ago as well. So it's not super surprising to hear it, but the idea that that's going to change things, because here's the deal. I've said this a bunch of times. You're not going to do the $20.5 million. That's the rev share part of it, has nothing to do with NIL. So I think that there's going to be plenty of schools that can pay the rev share part, right? Particularly out of the Power Four. They're going to be able to pay that. But then you still have folks that are going to be funneling money through NIL deals. They can funnel it through schools. They can do all that other stuff. I just don't see how that goes any other way. And this has never been about making it fair for everybody, or having any kind of competitive having it be to where it's balanced, and you just never know. It's just that's not what you're having. The only way that you could possibly do that would be to draft players, which is not coming. So It's just not. And again, the big boys of college football are going to remain the big boys of college football. They can afford to dump money. We heard Michigan talking earlier this calendar year, by the way, that their plan by 2026, 2027 is to be spending $50 million in NIL money, not rev share, NIL money. We know that Ohio State paid upwards of what, 26, $27 million for their roster for last year. They're going to put it in reverse now. Come on. I don't see it. I don't know. I haven't seen Mars Jams in a while. Where has he been? I wonder. He might be out working on the rigs or something, but it seems like he's an oil field guy of some kind, but he travels quite a bit. But no, I haven't seen Mars in a while. Have you guys seen him on the other shows? Yeah, he doesn't want to jump on board really. But he had Trav on from JP and Trav one time, and he kind of went along with him a little bit. I like Shane. He doesn't bother me. And it doesn't bother me that the fact that they're Tennessee fans either. I mean, I know they try to make it into a full-on SEC show, and their show's okay. I mean, I like their show. I'm not hating on their show at all. But I don't know the thing. Yeah, competitive balance. It did get a natty, but that's it, and that's exactly. Listen, you got to think about it. The year before that, when Michigan won, I think they dumped quite a bit of money on the guys to stay around. Same, and I think that a lot of what they went out and added some guys, and I'll also tell you that I still think that Chip Kelly had as much to do with that championship win as anything else. But when you spend money like that, it just and it works, then they're going to go do it again. They're going to. There's going to be other schools that are going to copy that and continue trying to do that stuff. I still think that overall, when it comes to the NIL stuff, I don't think that you can't just live off of paying over and over and over and over. Oh yeah, man, I like him. I like both of them. I think they're okay. They're pretty funny dudes. And shout out to them for what they've built that program into. I mean, they've taken that podcast that it was an audio podcast at first, and they've built their brand, man, and good for them. They're doing a good job. I think Mike used to work for Saturdays Down South, I believe, at some point. Check out my response to Barstool's Waterhead anti-OU. Do you have a new one? Nothing in that clip is correct. Mind you, this is coming from someone who lived through Gibbs. 6 and 7 had to rebuild the roster to Lincoln. 10-3, called his own defense in Calm Levy. 6 and 7, most injured roster in OU history, bad Oklahoma or offensive coordinator. You don't talk facts. Well, that's a fact. Yeah. Oh, it's too good. It's too good. Everything in this clip is correct. Yeah. Hilarious. Yeah, he's definitely a waterhead. And you're going to have to spend some money. There's no two ways around it. You're going to have to do it. But I do think that there's going to be the hope is that, it gets a little bit under control and stuff. But we said this before, and we were talking about it last night. I don't think that you're really going to see an end to this exorbitant prices that they're putting. I mean, you know what they got? You know what Michigan paid for Underwood? It's $15 million. $15 million. They got it from Barstool Cat, the other, the owner of Barstool. He better be that good. Starting to hear that they look like they may be going to start him. instead of the guy from Fresno State. What's his name? Look real quick. It's damn. Mikey Keene. Mikey Keene. He was at UCF, and then last year he was at Fresno. Passed for 2892, 18 touchdowns, 11 picks, 70% completions. The year before that, he was a shade better, I think. Not a ton better, but a little bit better. But apparently Underwood is doing his thing. So we'll see. What's up there, Ganj? It's the Crimson. Is it free or do we have to pay? You know what? I hadn't even looked at that, but my guess is it's going to cost something. I don't know. I mean, they hadn't been charging much even just for the regular game, right? Well, yeah, Blake definitely recruited. He recruited well. I mean, most of the guys that were on that Natty team came from Blake and then Start Underwood, please. Hey, listen, I think he's a hell of a player, or he's going to be a hell of a player. But yeah, I agree. Week 2, there's no way you will see anything that will get thrown at you that day. There's no way that you will have seen it, so that you can be expecting it, because obviously it's earlier in the season. He's liable to dial up some shit from the Clemson early days to wear that kid out, man. And they're gonna definitely be sending guys. I mean, put that kid in the blender. What you working on, man? Clip in or what? Yeah, I don't know who they're gonna start, but I do think that I like OU's chances in that game, if for nothing else, being at home. And the one thing you got to worry about is that the Michigan defense that's what they do well. They're going to be big in the trenches. I think it's a test for you for sure. I think it's definitely going to be a good early season test for Oklahoma, but it is what it is. I wonder when we're going to get our next commit. Yeah, what people are looking at upsets. Okay. Well, you guys tell me, where are they coming? Are you calling? I think they're showing upsets for, as what are you saying? He said, let me go back to what you were saying earlier. Let me find it here. Shit. I still can't believe y'all were doing the bust a move thing a second ago. That's hilarious. Okay. Did you? All right. Now let me go ahead and pull that up then. No. What up, Coach Top? Jim Nagy has to use resources. What's up, Trap House? Coach Top? What's up, folks? Good to see you guys. What is there? Hey, man. Big Trap. Shout out you've been throwing out some killer content, man. And Coach Top, man, those Coach Top, man, you guys' spaces on X are wild, bro. Wild. The top 10 upsets predicted by, shout out to the SEC, that SEC pod. Let's see. They've got Alabama at Georgia. So I guess they're saying Bama wins. Oklahoma versus Texas. They're OU over Tennessee. Was there another one that you said too? Florida over LSU on the road. LSU at Clemson. They got LSU winning that. Texas A&M getting beat on the road at Arkansas. I don't know how big of an upset that is. South Carolina beating Missouri's an upset? Is it? Huh. Okay. All right. Well, I know they got Georgia at number 1, don't they? So, I mean, it's early number 1, but yeah. After seeing Texas spring practice, give me OU. Oh, yeah? Do tell. You got time to come in here and tell us about it there, Coach Top? Yeah, number 2 and number 8. Let's see. So, yeah, listen, I still feel like it's like I said, I think that you probably have a better player in Nico this year than what you had a year ago. I don't know what that really equates to because I mean you lost probably the best running back in college football, or one of the top 2 or 3 anyway. And all those big nasty receivers that they have gone. They lost a lot of their offensive line. I don't know, man. I and some of their defense is gone too. So I think they're going to still be pretty good. But yeah. 41 new guys, and most are freshmen. See, looky there. Texas has 41 new guys, most of them being freshmen, or Tennessee does? Because I know they have a lot of new dudes, for sure, at Texas, but I didn't think it was that many. Holy shit. They really do believe they sure are thinking a lot of their new recruits and stuff, then to still be so many people be picking, if you're talking about Texas, to still be picking Texas to win it all, 41 new players, most being freshmen. Okay, yeah. So explain to me how it is that everybody has been picking Arch to go win the Heisman in his first year as a starter. And I mean, we're talking about guys like Andy and Ari and guys like that. They're all over Texas. It's wild. Wild to me. And I've been talking about the fact that 4 of their 5 offensive linemen, brand new, first year starting. I like the running back room, and I actually like Arch. I think he's going to be pretty good, but I just can't see it. No chance in hell, he says. Shit, that's great. I love it, man. See, I didn't realize it was that many, but and here's the other thing. Look, I think that they're pretty good at receiver, but they're all new. And for all the people that are talking about, I mean, let's just go and look at. Now I got to go look at this damn thing. If you start looking at the depth chart and stuff, and left tackle, redshirt sophomore, he's replacing probably a first round pick. Redshirt junior, I think the only one they got back is what? Isn't it their center, Hudson Cole? Cole Hudson, I mean. Yeah, he's the only guy that was the starter. DJ Campbell, Brandon Baker, sophomore. You've got 3 upperclassmen in it, but shit, I don't know, man. I don't see it. And like DeAndre Moore, what has he done? And Ryan Wingo, they're talking about Ryan Wingo like he had a season that stacked up to Ryan Williams or, even Jeremiah Smith. I think it's wild. Wild. He had 1 game over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. I know he's a freak athlete, but I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. They lost him during the spring? I love it. I love it. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see. Oh shit! I shouldn't have done that. Pop that back up there real quick. Man, that's too good. Too much funny. Too much funny. Fuck Texas. By the way, fuck Texas. Just so we can, throw that out there real quick.
The brand has finally returned. Fuck your brand.
Yup. Yep. Okay. Turf toe out for spring, man. And turf toe, that's a concerning injury right there. Peyton Bowen has it too. It's kind of worrisome because it doesn't really go away. So that could be tough. And I mean, neither one of those guys was anything super special last year. They just weren't. So we'll see, man. And he hadn't even it surprised me that he didn't hit the portal pretty hard for receivers this year because he's been doing it. Yeah. That's what I would tell you too, man. It's like, okay, if you're looking at, I mean, their number 2, Parker Livingstone, is a redshirt freshman. Aaron Butler, redshirt freshman. Freddie Dubose is a redshirt freshman. Jamie French, a true freshman. Khalil Lockett. I know those guys are supposed to be studs. They better be grown up when they get there. Ryan Niblett, redshirt sophomore. Red Anderson, redshirt sophomore. I mean, could they be good? Sure. But are you just automatically assuming that these guys are going to turn into Batman all of a sudden? Shit. Come on, man. Come on. And let's see how much you see Arch running this year. Let's see how much he takes off. Yeah, I'm not really buying all that. Not really buying all. And again, not only that, but the defense is the same way. If you start looking at that side of it, shit, they're in. Let's see, defensively, they got Ethan Burke coming back. But behind him, Colton Vasek. You've got at nose tackle Cole Brevard, Travis Shaw at the defensive tackle position. Trey Moore, Ant Hill is big. That's a big time returner. Colin Simmons being returning. That's, I mean, I think that, but he's going to have to do it all. Their secondary is pretty brand new. Malik Muhammad will be back. Yeah, dude, I'm not buying it, man. I'm not buying it. Their defensive line is it's young, but it's inexperienced is what it is. It's inexperienced. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that's who they are. And Red Anderson's a walk-on. Yep. Niblett is moved to DB? What? Oh, really? I like hearing this. Where'd you go watch them play? You went down to spring practice? My man. Vasek injured again. Yeah, I don't really see him running the ball like if he's running like Haynes, he's gonna get his ass hit a lot. Hey, you know what, T? It's a good, smart comment right here too because I just don't see Jonah Williams playing baseball, not even practicing with football. Oh man, this is all good news. This is all great news. Like I said, man, I wrote that column a couple of weeks ago. I think there's a better shot of them missing the playoff than there is them winning the damn natty. I just do. And to be honest with you, there was guys in there that have been saying, even from their like at Orange Bloods and stuff like that. Not necessarily. I don't know. No, not Orange Bloods. It's one of those sites though. One of their insider sites. that they were even saying the same stuff that, like, look, man, there's a lot of stuff that you got to come up with. And if you're talking about this guy was, in fact, I'll just go in and kind of look at what he was talking about because I can just pull up that column. Um, if you look at this dude had basically the teams that he has as contenders, right? He's got right now the contenders he's looking at are Ohio State, Georgia, Penn State, Oregon, and the Horns. So, but he was looking at some data and he's got some skepticism. So I've what I was saying, it should alarm Texas fans, and it isn't. Texas fans are still full of shit. But according to what he was bringing out there, among those contenders, again, he had them basically dead last among like offensive continuity. Half of his projected starters unproven or barely tested. He was saying the same thing really about the defensive side as well, but still sipping on the burnt orange Kool-Aid when it comes to suggesting Manning could single-handedly elevate Texas and believes that he's going to, he's the most likely quarterback out of all the quote contenders that he has up there to win the Heisman, which is it. I mean, everything that he said he was writing that column back in February. Everything he said until that pointed the other way. Why would he be more likely than Drew Aller? Maybe because I don't think Penn State has the receivers they need. But so Nussmeier isn't. I think Nussmeier is the number one contender for the Heisman, to be quite honest with you. Even possibly Klubnik. I think Mateer's got a better shot at winning the damn Heisman than Arch does. It's just wild. But this receiver production, I mean, again, Ryan Wingo, 2 touchdowns, one 100-yard game. He had another one that was at 50 and one that was at like 70. That was, it's nothing close to the 1,315 and 15 touchdowns of Jeremiah Smith. And Ryan Wingo had 865 and 8, or not Ryan Wingo, Ryan Williams, 865 and 8. I mean, it isn't close. Not close. 2 seasons at Texas, still not a feature player for DeAndre Moore. I think Khalil Lockett looks like he may be that dude. And French, okay, maybe. They haven't proven anything yet, though. The defensively, they're talking, if you look at Conley ranks them, 44th nationally in returning production, 103rd overall. Losing Vernon Broughton and Alfred Collins up front is going to be a pain in the ass. But I think that losing Barron and Makuba, and they combined for half of their interceptions and were both top 3 in tackles. How are you going to, you're not just replacing that with a bunch of damn freshmen. And that's really what they have in the back end there. Michael Taff, okay, if that's who you're expecting to go play now, okay, well, cool. He's a redshirt senior, but what's he done so far? Mm-hmm. I don't see it, man. Jelani McDonald, I don't even know who the hell that is. I'm not seeing it, man. I'm just not seeing it. What's up, TP? Hey, Coach Top, you can jump in if you like. Mr. Bad Dog in Miami should have a better shot. There's a lot of guys with a better shot to win the damn Heisman than Arch. I just don't. I first year starter. Come on, man. Hell yeah, he is. Hell yeah, he is. I think that Mateer has a better shot at it. Coach Top, you want to pop in? Oops. I'll put it in your DMs, man. Pop in if you want. All right. It's in there. Vasectomy. Yeah. Hey, Ryan Williams is a bad guy, man. Now they're gonna have whoever is starting is a better passer than what they had last year. And I'm not bad mouthing Jalen Milroe. I think he's a great athlete. I also think that they weren't calling very good plays. But he's not a great thrower of the football, period. He has a big arm, but those precision routes, that wasn't him. Lagway has a better shot, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Andy Bass for Heisman, huh? I hope he got hurt again, though, man. I don't know. I think he tore his other knee up. That sucks, too. Hey, yeah, and talking about Choice being gone, I think it's going to hurt him. Now, I like their running back room, and if Baxter comes back healthy, we'll see kind of where that is. But there's no guarantee on that. He tore his knee up bad, and then, but I do like. I mean, I think that they showed that they have a guy. They most definitely have a guy. Trey Wisner. I like Trey Wisner. They're showing Baxter as the starter. Jared Gibson was okay. I mean, but I think that Wisner, I don't think that's enough, though. And they don't have a ton of guys other than that. Jaden Blue's gone. Yeah, I don't know, man. They've been recruiting it pretty well. No doubt about it. But now he's gone and he's been coaching it well. So that's pretty wild, man. To me, I think that, whoa. I don't know that I'm going there, Comanche Sooner. But I get it. Yeah. Avery Johnson's going to be in the talk. I think so. I think Avery's good. And he's a dual threat guy. He runs really well, but I think the fact that you're going to have him with a better play caller this year too, they're pretty damn good at receiver. And I like their running back room too. I think K-State they're either the favorite or the co-favorite for sure in the Big 12. Who gone? Yeah. What's up, James? What's up, my guy? General Booty. He was didn't he go to either ULM or Southeastern Louisiana or something like that last year? I heard he had a good year. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that's what I was saying in the column that, I think if you're looking at who's probably the favorites right now, I think the favorite has got to be Nussmeier, right? I mean, he looks good. But it kind of depends on what they look like at the receiver. But that's not ever a problem at LSU. They just kind of produce them down in the swamp, man. You know what I mean? So, you may not know who they are, and then they got that kid from Kentucky along with Nick. I know Nick's running with the threes right now, but I don't know that that's not just precautionary. I wouldn't go too far in that. Anyway. Matt has proven we have observational evidence regarding his production. We don't have any for Arch. I don't understand why everyone is. Yeah, I mean, Mateer. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you do know why they're doing it. He's a Manning. He's a Manning. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you I think he's going to be terrible. I don't. I don't think he is. I don't think that, but I don't think that they're. Listen, I think they should have been playing him last year. Just being honest, if they were going to play him, they should have went ahead and did it. Because what has Quinn done besides come up small in big situations? Of course, it doesn't help that, you didn't even try to run the ball down on the goal line at the end of that game against Ohio State. How do you not do that from the fucking 2-yard line? 4 times, no doubt. I'm not doubting it. I'm not. I think that if he's healthy, he's gonna be dangerous. He's gonna be a problem. Nick's a player, man. The health is the question. Can he be healthy? What position do I worry about the most at Oklahoma? Probably corner. If I'm worried, it's probably corner. On offense, I mean, I think the depth is enough better on the offensive line that I'm not as concerned. So I think they're going to be okay there. But yeah, I think if anything, it would be probably corner. But we're hearing a lot of really good things about some of these guys, the young kids. You heard Big Mike the other day was saying that he thought Jeremiah Newcomb was the guy out there. We've heard a lot of stuff about that freshman too. Hold on real quick. So yeah, he was talking about Jeremiah Newcomb quite a bit. He was talking about Jaden Hardy quite a bit in the safety room, which he's been saying that he expected that. But I've heard Jacoby's been doing pretty well. Gentry seems to be healthy. We'll see how that ends up turning out. But if Cortland Guillory is everything that you've heard from, and this is coming from, that came from Teddy, that he thinks that Cortland is that guy. And you saw that one video of him out there where he was all in the middle of all those plays and talking all kinds of shit for a freshman. That's kind of cool. But, he was saying Big Mike was talking about Newcomb being sticky, which is how he was talking about Eli Bowen all last year. So I don't know. I'm not worried about the running back position. I just don't. Yeah, Jaden Hardy putting in work. Yeah. Trapp was talking up Newcomb too. He was. Hey, man. Again, this is why, if the worry that you would have is that they're unproven, they're unproven, if anything. They just don't have a ton of experience, but you have to get experience by playing. So, and I can see that kind of happening. And the truth is that defensively speaking, they've been recruiting guys year over year that are better than last year's guys. That's just what's going on there. The reason that you've seen, especially at that corner position, I think that you've seen some turnover there, and a lot of it was injuries. I would tell you that I think that Vickers had a chance to be a special corner. Again, shout out to him and prayers up for him. But if you're not healthy, it's tough. I think that if you look at Jacoby Johnson, athletically speaking, sheesh, he's that dude. But he has to kind of put it all together. So we'll see. Why are you worried about running back though, Rimy? I guess that would be my question for that. I'm not super worried about it. I think that they've got talent there, right? I think I may know what you're thinking, what you're worried about. Get that offensive lineman from Stanford. It wouldn't hurt anything. It never hurts to go and get more depth pieces. I think that we were talking about the other day. they had Giovanni and Simmons in the top 10 FCS transfers into Power 5, Power 4. Both of those guys were top 10 dudes. So, they're expecting a lot out of him. They've got him slotted at the starting position at the right tackle right now, I think. Apparently, Jacob Sexton's doing his thing, looking good right now. EPL, yeah, he's been looking good. Okay. So I don't know if I don't know that I'm necessarily worried is what I'm getting. The other part of it, how much do you worry about the corners and any of the secondary? That Kendall Dobie, if he gets back completely healthy, and maybe that's 2, 3, 4 games in, whatever, where he's playing more. He's got an opportunity to play. We got a guest coming in. He's got an opportunity to play slot corner. I mean, there's lots of stuff that he could do. Hold on real quick. Let me bring in this guest. My guy. Welcome into the show, Coach Smoke.
What's good, my brother? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, man. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's good, man? Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're talking about how all the people are talking up Texas so much, and they've got 41 newcomers, most of them being freshmen.
I like it.
Brand new quarterback, 4 new offensive linemen out of 5. The defensive line in the interior, especially, brand new. I'm not seeing it, man. Just not seeing all this Texas love.
I like it. I mean, we have the resident troll that just travels to everybody's channel, Bevo's Bodyguard.
Yeah, he don't hang around on my channel no more. But that's because I booted his ass out of there.
Yeah, he keeps pulling up. I mean, every Bama stream I have, he pulls up and wants to be heard. So we try to indulge, but then it's like pointless after. But Texas fans, I think they're riding a lot on the Archie hype, which is rightfully so. Rightfully so.
I think he's going to be good, but I think
they got too much to really to say. I could see Texas going like 7-5 because of things having to come together, and then probably turning around the following year, next year.
Right. They've got to get some experience in some of these spots because, I mean, and Coach Top was just telling us, and Coach Top's pretty connected around here anyway, especially with receivers and stuff. But he was saying that already you've got Ryan Wingo's hurt already, out for the spring. Same thing with they've got a turf toe problem as well. I mean, dude, that's not a good thing. Turf toe don't really go away. Man, I don't know if you look at, but I mean, all the love for Wingo, he looks the part, but let's not act like he's Ryan Williams and certainly not Jeremiah Smith or even Cam Coleman. He had 100-yard game and 2 touchdowns last year. What are we talking about?
And I don't think people realize how I look at the secondary across the SEC, not just at Alabama, but just the recruits from the 24 and the 25 class that signed in those classes to SEC schools. Like the SEC right now, secondary wise, from top to bottom, most talented in the country. You can throw out. We got 14 teams in the SEC. What's 14 times 5? Was that 70? 70?
14 times, yeah, it'd be 28, 56, 72.
70. 14 times 5 is 70. Can't be a 2. We too old for this, Jason. But nah. So
14 times 4 is 48.
And 14 times 5?
No, it'd be 56 plus 14.
No, 14.
Is 70. You're right. I'm already trying to be like, look, motherfucker.
Get the But nah, man. I think right now you can take the top, your 70 starters in the SEC, right?
Yeah.
And really just sprinkle them around other conferences, and they're going to start, and they're going to be probably your guy at that position. So, for Archie to have to go against that, and depending on Trey Wingo, who's going to struggle, he struggled in a lot of those matchups last year. You know, he was never the primary target. He benefited from being able to be hit in the number 3, number 4 option. Something that I think is going to happen with Ryan Williams this year, being able to benefit from being your second or third option in the offense. Because we got some dudes at Bama right now, some experienced guys, and Isaiah Horton, Jalen Hale's back. Got some young guys that's come in. Latsier Brooks has really stepped on campus day one and really made an impact.
I keep hearing you bringing his name up, man, Brooks.
I've been talking about this guy since we signed, when he committed to Bama, and he was a 3-star. Yeah. And I had him on Bama Football on YouTube, and we had a whole interview, and people were in the chat laughing at the fact that he was a 3-star. And those same people now are so happy that we got Jalen Waddle 2.0. Like they like so many people criticize his star rating, and now that other people are on board, it's so funny how the fan bases are, bro.
We've been talking about star ratings and how horseshit they are right now. And look, we got Jim Nagy there as the GM right now at Oklahoma. This guy's a 25-year NFL scout. He don't give 2 shits about the star ratings of these dudes. You know?
And that's what I love about the assessment of this year's quarterback class. Because I think there's, you know, I think they handed out those 5-star ratings just to hand them out. But when you look at the eval on these guys from the guys that really talk football and develop guys, and when they say a guy's going to be different if he continues to progress at the next level, and they have been your Trevor Lawrence's, your Tua's, you get what I'm saying? Those guys. When you talk about this class, there's like 3 or 4 guys in the 25 class that kind of fit that persona. And then there's some guys from last year. I mean, we keep talking about Archie, but Nico is. I don't think Nico's going to explode this year like everybody think he is.
Well, I don't either, because they lost most of their talent on the. I mean, I think he could be better.
Yeah,
and you don't really see it because who do they got? I know they got that freshman receiver that you were talking about before,
Travis Smith Jr.
I like him.
Yeah,
and I do like him, but the thing is like, is he going to come in and be that dude immediately?
It's going to be hard for anybody that goes in at the wide receiver position. Right? Like, even with Ryan Williams, you see how that changed from week 4 to week 5. Like, you go week 4 against Georgia, Ryan Williams, and then for the next 3 or 4 weeks, he kind of disappears for us. And because now you got defensive coordinators, they understand, okay, we're dealing with a legit talent here, but he's young. Let's get his head. What's up, Ryman Lemon? Good to see you in the chat. Good to see everybody that's speaking, man. My AAA family don't know I'm over here, so don't go snitching, talking about I'm cheating on them and stuff. Nah, they know we family, man. When we come over here, man, it's our family. I want to get on and chop it up with my bro before I get into my stuff today.
Yeah, but listen, I think, look, and I'm not even just hating on Texas. I just think you literally lost 14 guys to the draft this year. You lost 11 last year. That's 25 guys in 2 years. It doesn't matter who you are. You don't just reload anyway, and when you're this young.
Right, and that's what I think that's what Ohio State saw, bro. I really think that's what Ohio State saw going into this season. Not just that they had to save, you know, Ryan Day needed to save his job, but I think Ohio State really saw how much quality talent, young talent they had. Yep. And they was like, we need a transition year. We need a carryover year for these guys to develop. And to me, I don't think anybody else prepared like Ohio State did. They used it up, man. They used it up. They went and got that NIL. They got some veteran guys that weren't struggling for playing time on other rosters. They just, hey, we want to put together the best team in college football. You have a year that you need.
$26 million doing it.
26, man. And well worth it when you look at it now. You know? And we said that from the jump. Everybody said that you got to win. If you spend that much, you have to win.
And I was just talking about, did you see what Kirby was saying on, there was a clip on there that Andy Stapleton put out there where he's talking about that everything that they've been trying to do with all this stuff has been to try to get competitive balance, which is bullshit. We all know that. Get out of here with that stuff. Yeah. That's not what that is. And you want it to be as closely resembling what it used to be, if you're Kirby, when they were able to stack at Alabama, and when he was able to do it there.
He wants
You're not
that
going to
old
be able to stack.
blueprint that I
Yeah.
continue to echo this and yell it from the mountaintops, bro. The Saban way is expired. It is expired, chat. And for everybody, he was the GOAT of his time. I love to identify GOATs, right? I don't think there's an overall greatest of all time. I think there's a GOAT of your time. And your time is all the time that you spent doing what you was doing. So the time that you were doing, if you was the greatest, man, be the greatest. And I think Coach Saban, even historically, you can compare it. I mean,
Coach Saban is, to me, yes, he doesn't have
game
peers.
has changed,
He
though,
doesn't
bro.
really have peers in this era, right?
Right.
He doesn't have peers. But you'd have to say Bear Bryant is definitely a peer overall. I mean, and they did it. It was a different deal back in those days. I think that there's other coaches like that too. So, but in the end, I mean, Barry Switzer, he was also, they were top 3 9 different times.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it was a different era back then. And I mean, if you put those teams in a playoff situation, how many do they win? I don't know. Especially a 14 playoff, right?
Right.
You just never know, because I think that back in those days, I mean, there's a lot of coaches that from days past that you can look at and say, during that time, I agree with you. I don't like doing the comparison thing over eras. Somebody was talking about, there was somebody from Oklahoma that was complaining about that somebody from the younger this era right now, they're like, there's no way any of those option quarterbacks can compare to the quarterbacks we've had that have won the Heisman since 2000. That's not necessarily true. It's just that they don't play the same damn position.
Right.
It ain't the same thing. And
it's a different game, man.
It's a different deal. Why even bother making that comparison? You wouldn't go ask Jamel Holloway to come and be quarterback in an air raid system. You wouldn't.
Nope.
But you also wouldn't ask Sam Bradford to go back and be a freaking wishbone guy.
I said this, like guys like Jamarcus Russell and who is another big bubble quarterback? That quarterback would not survive in today's game. Because if you think about it, what did they go to the combine and struggle? What did they go to the draft and struggle with?
Well, not having any mobility at all or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, they just used to run through people. Like the game is no longer a big man's game on either side of the ball. You look at the trenches, man. Alabama right now, the average weight of the offensive line, I think right now is at like 325, 330, which is big, right? But you think about where we were 2 years ago under Coach Saban, 360. 365, like that was crazy. And then you're wondering why they're getting beat by 245, 265 pound defensive ends on the pass rush and 285 pound tackles that's just slipping and spinning off of blocks. Like, come on, man. We saw the worst of the Saban era the last 3 years of his career, and that was because his way could no longer evolve. The way of the game had changed. The whole two-gap scheme, majority two-gap scheme got phased out because you were playing in space. Too many linebackers on the field. You put an extra DB on the field. Well, a slow linebacker on the field. That's what Saban did. He would put small linebackers on the field and label them a strong safety, right? And so, like, that was the smart back then. But now you got big, strong safeties that can actually cover and don't mind coming up and filling. So this game has changed on all phases, on all levels. Kids are coming in with full offensive schemes out of high school, collegiate and NFL type offensive schemes. They know the basis of those coming into college and can run it fluidly. That's why you see a lot of freshman quarterbacks in a lot of these QB battles across the country.
Yeah, Neilio, you ain't wrong. Only thing keeping Barry from having 6 or 7 natties, the U. The U was nasty.
Mm-hmm.
They were nasty back in the days. They were. And Tommy Frazier's another. That's a good name drop right there.
Yeah.
Why that dude is not talked about more in GOATs of college football, bro. That he was unstoppable. Unstoppable, man.
You know what? I go back and I watch highlights of some of the greats, man, like before my time. And I always say this when we talk about greatest of all time. I think if you let's be real. If they had the intestinal fortitude, right, the mental stability and resilience to be the best during their era for what was made available, they went and they overexceeded what was the standard or the best in their time. Why do we as fans not consider that same mindset when we talk about Jordan, when we talk about Wilt, when we talk about Bo Jackson? Why do we try to downplay it as if they couldn't have that same mindset to get in the gym, do whatever, and use whatever's available today and be just as great or even greater? You get what I'm saying? Like, that's what I try to, when I have my greatest of all time arguments.
Today, Herschel Walker still looks like he could go out and play.
Man, I think we would be okay in Atlanta, right? For the Atlanta Falcons, if we signed Herschel Walker and we gave him 10 carries a game. I think we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Look at you.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt
10 carries. Come on, Jason. You getting in the red zone 4 times a game. He's going to give him 2 every time 2 carries.
Herschel was a bad dude, man.
Come on, man.
Bad dude. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Oh my god.
Come on, man.
And Bo was different.
Different in everything. People don't know
the reason that he got hurt so bad. The reason he was hurt as bad as he was because of his power.
Too much.
His legs were working so hard that when the guy had him wrapped up so good, his legs kept going and just shattered everything. There was
y'all remember the guy that was complaining about
how good he was.
I forget who did their interview, man, but the guy was complaining. He was like, after a game of tackling Bo, it was like his sophomore year. Said after a game, he didn't know that they didn't know what they was called back then. But when you have internal muscle bruises, he said that like guys were sitting there all week trying to figure out why they were so sore, and they go back and be like, dang, I had 17 tackles against Auburn. That's why,
like, right? Yeah.
All of them was against Bo.
Then and like Jamel Holloway. Yeah, Jamel was great.
Yes.
My first Sooner favorite player. Whenever I was like 9 whenever he played. Jamel was unbelievable. Again, and he could throw it a little bit, but he wasn't a thrower, man. And neither was Tommy Frazier. But you weren't stopping those guys.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't stopping those guys. But to compare a guy like Tommy to any of the guys in this era right now, it's just not the right way to go about it. It's not and it's the same argument that I have when we start talking about Otis Taylor and stuff like that. He played in an era where they didn't throw the damn ball, but he is the reason. He's the prototype of the prototypical receiver. That was OT. You know what I mean? And so to compare that's why I always say, you can't be comparing players. What you have, the only way for the Hall of Fame, any Hall of Fame, for you to judge it is, can you tell the story of that era that they played in without them? If you can, they're not Hall of Famers. If you can't tell the story without that person, they are Hall of Famers, period, in the story.
Mm-hmm.
That's just all there is to it. And that's when you start talking about like Coach Leach. How the hell do you leave Coach Leach out of the Hall? If he had one more win, which he'd have gotten it if he hadn't died, they won the damn bowl game.
Come on now.
But on top of that, how do you tell the story of football in the modern era without the damn air raid?
You can't.
It's at every level.
You can't, bro. I mean, I'm telling you, last year when I moved back down to Montgomery during the summer, I would go and watch the kids up the street, man, right up here at the elementary school. And I watch their practices when I get off stream.
Yeah.
Just go up there and watch, And the amount of passes I've seen, I see throw in a practice at a 10U practice, 11U practice. It's crazy to me because I remember going and watching my cousins, right? Yeah. I didn't play Little League ball. I played basketball up until high school.
Right.
When I used to go and be able to sit at my cousins' practices, man, it was nothing but you had 20 running backs. You had 5, 10 offensive linemen, the big boys that couldn't run fast. Coach would put them on the O-line, or the little skinny guys that knew the football, put them on the O-line, teach them how to get contact. But the running back room was the thing. When I 10, 11 years old. So that's 20 years ago. You look at the game now, man. You got kids going on. You got kids play quarterback and safety, right? You got cornerback, tight end. Like these, the game is at a different level because everybody wants to make the big plays now, and that's in the passing game. Is no secret.
Sure. Well, and even in the NFL, we were talking about this last week about they basically backed off of Jonathan Hatton and even another legacy running back because it just wasn't going to be worth it money wise. That's what it looks like. Why? Because they're going to an NFL scouting model, and there's going to be certain numbers that you have to unless you know that this guy is going to be Saquon, Derrick Henry. You can't give them that kind of money. A&M was willing to pay triple what OU was for Hatton. Triple. That's insane, right? And then the same with KU and Oklahoma State with the legacy kid. They were off of him for what? A month, I think, at least.
Right.
Before, and we were talking about that. It's like, think about the NFL. They value receivers double what they value running backs.
Mm-hmm.
They feel like that it came from Hal Mummy, but Mac, come on. And we talked about this. Yes, he came from the Hal Mummy system, but who made the air raid into what it was? It wasn't Hal.
Come on, Doc. Let's talk about it. Just because you introduce something doesn't mean you are like the originator of it. Like that,
you did originate it, but it was
he introduced it.
But he also took it from the run and shoot.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because people argued for so many years is air raid. This is run and shoot. We've been seeing this. We're just getting vertical now. That's it. That's all it was. So I don't know, man. It's a difference of opinion. But when it comes to the quarterback game, when it comes to the game of football in general, you know, you look at how different positions are developing in different eras, how it continues to evolve.
Whether you say that it was on him or not, he was one of the pioneers of it, and which means that, and he was certainly the most successful with it. You cannot tell the story of football right now without Mike Leach. You cannot do it.
Mike freaking Leach, man.
The pirate.
My camera. I just noticed that blur. Got the blur.
You got back blur. Yeah, I don't think that it has, Eli. Why do you think Bryle's system has failed to propagate? It hasn't. That's what they're running at Ole Miss. That's what they're running at Mississippi State. Bryle's is there. It hasn't gone anywhere. The veer and shoot is what I guess is what you call it, or the bear raid, if you want to call it that. No, it's there. And Bryles was unbelievable too, by the way. Unbelievable as an offensive coach. Lavelle Edwards. Well, it's similar. It was the spread offense is what Lavelle came up with, which is just, there's minor differences we're talking about, guys. Minor differences.
I got so many people mad right now.
Who's that?
Bama fans.
Why? Oh, because of what you said. Let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about this quarterback situation. Why is everybody so pissy about that? And why is it that everybody wants Ty Simpson so bad? Why?
Jason, you have a fan base, and I'm going to say this and be very blunt about it. You have a fan base that's locked in on this traditional mindset that because you have been at a program for 4 or 5 years, you deserve to get a chance to be the starter, this, that, and the third. Yes, Ty Simpson is a good quarterback. We know Ty Simpson has a good arm. We know Ty Simpson has always been a competitor in the quarterback room since his arrival on campus. Why has Ty Simpson
one that you needed to start him though?
Where has he been? That's my question. That's my question to those fans that feel like this is his year because he's been there the longest. I want you all to really take this in and I get texts daily. There's a lot of influential people on Twitter, and hopefully we have some of them, you know, sneaking in and watching, and hopefully we get some clips. There's some influential on Gump Twitter. There's some people in Bama media that cover Bama football. Yeah. Go ahead, pull it out because it's coming. Big guns. They like to push narratives for clicks, right? And I love it because when they do that, I'm the guy. Is me and maybe 3 or 4 in the background that's continued to stay with consistency, whether that consistency means things are changing, but to sit there and impress a narrative as if something is already decided is crazy to me. I tell you what is decided, that this quarterback competition is still open, and if you're a 4th year redshirt junior that's been with a program and you have yet to show 3 offensive coordinators that you can separate yourself from a true freshman. A true freshman. We're not even going to talk about the redshirt sophomore that's had, basically 2.5 years in this scheme or in this system with this coaching staff. You're talking about the freshman. I'm talking about the comparison between Ty Simpson and Keelan Russell. You can't create any separation. That's a problem for me. And if that's a problem for me,
we talked about that before, right? That's what I was saying in your show. I was like, look, if you haven't separated yourself from a freshman,
yeah,
then you play the freshman. That's my opinion. You play the freshman.
And Daniel Looney said something so great. Appreciate Chad Kramer with the $4.99 super chat.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, man. Yeah. Do you think Arbuckle will have final say regarding the running back rotation? I don't know. It feels like he's gonna at least have enough influence where he's gonna get guys in there that he thinks. I do believe that they're about to have some movement in that room. There's too many of them in there. There's not enough footballs to go around, and I think that similar to what Smook's talking about right now, the young guys are better than the older guys, and so I think that you have to. I think that the writing's on the wall for those other guys. There's got to be.
Yep. So, and I don't think the writing's on the wall for Ty Simpson. I don't think it's going to be on the wall for him until it's actually like week 1 of fall prep. When we find out who's going to be the guy going into Florida State. This is a staff that's not going to I'm okay with Bama fans having it. Hey, me too, man. It's all entertainment for me, bro.
I was just say so smooth.
I am fine with you know what? For the message that I preach and I live by, it's not for the faint of heart fans. I only rock with real fans, bro. Like, we can take our hits and knocks on the chin and still gonna rock with our team. We can look at things and say, as much as I love Ty Simpson, I've been calling Jason. I keep echoing this. People don't want to remember this. 2 years ago, when Jalen Milroe was the starter going into Middle Tennessee State, I made proclamation: if Ty Simpson gets an opportunity at the helm, he won't turn the reins back over to Jalen Milroe. He had an opportunity against USF, and guess what? Coach Saban felt like the best opportunity for Alabama to win that year was Jalen Milroe. Flip the page. Kalen DeBoer comes in. Whole new set of eyes, whole new staff, whole new scheme. Ty Simpson, for some reason, can't either. I mean, Nick Sheridan and those guys said, hey, Jalen Milroe may not be able to read defense as good as you, but he gives us a better chance to win because he has this and this and this. You do this great, Ty. Not just good, you do it great, but he has this, this, and this, and this. I'm going to try this. If they tried it with Jalen Milroe, you don't think they're going to go with an Austin Mack who's got the similar skill sets, who's going to be the more athletic of the two between Ty Simpson and Austin Mack. Austin Mack's going to be the biggest of all quarterbacks in the room.
He's got a hell of an arm too, man. He that boy can spin it, right?
Not the strongest arm, Jason, but the timing of his passes, the accuracy is there. The strongest arm in the room is Ty.
He has a good grasp on the offense.
Yes, and it's something that they pull him out of a high school system that literally mirrored Ryan Grubb, Nick Sheridan. At the time, I forget the quality control guy. He's an offensive coordinator at assistant offensive coordinator at Indiana, I think, right now. Is it Indiana State or Indiana? One of these schools. But that whole coming together of that system, even with Scott Huff.
Indiana. It was Indiana.
So we got to think, man. We got to, as Bama Nation, I'm speaking to Bama Nation and people that's watching the quarterback battle. If I have a 4th-year guy and he can't show me, and I'm telling you, this is not just, you can read into
really
it.
Be close right now is what you're saying.
It shouldn't be close. It shouldn't be close. I don't think Keelan Russell is the for sure starter right now. But I think Ty Simpson has shown me enough of instability and inconsistency that the moment it pops his head in the season, first game against Florida State if he is the starter, because I believe Austin Mack is leaning into that role now. I really do. Looking at the scrimmage, man, Ty had 2 touchdown passes, but they were big plays by the wide receivers, to be honest. That's just Isaiah Horton is a dude. Rico Scott caught a nice one from Ty Simpson. But Isaiah Horton also caught one from Austin Mack, a real nice time and deep ball that put him in the end zone in stride. Ty has great understanding of the game, coaches kid, knows how to be a leader, but he is not the best quarterback in the room. And that's all I want Alabama fans to understand. He's a good quarterback, but he's not the best quarterback in Alabama's quarterback room.
And I think that's where if we saw some of the things we've seen over the last couple of years, and particularly like in the running back room, it's the same. You put the best guy in just put the best guy in.
Yeah.
Because, and you know what? If I'm Bama, and look, because do I think that my opinion, I don't think that Ty Simpson leads you to where you're trying to be, right? I just don't think he does. And maybe Keelan doesn't in year one.
He doesn't in year one. I don't believe.
You know what happens if you play him in year one? Then year 2, you guys are really damn good.
Year 2, year 3. You know what happens in year 3 when Russell's the second year starter in his third year? You go and get the next top rated quarterback in the class of 27, right? Because he's going to be on campus for a year, and he knows.
My question would be, do they get to 10 wins with the freshman?
Yes. I look at this schedule, and I look at
because it feels like you kind of need to, right, at Alabama this year.
Yes, you have to
keep Kalen safe.
Yes, you have to, and I think that's where the dilemma is right now. Thinking long term, from a perspective as not a fan, but somebody that's close to the program, right? I think this evaluation process this spring is a lot different than last year, because now you're not doing evaluation based off of film that you're evaluating, right? This is stuff that you've been able to watch Ty and Austin for a year in this facility. Not in this philosophy or in this scheme, but at the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa. That's how you've been able to see that. You get a new guy that comes on and fits right into that mold, and he starts to make your most senior guy look like, okay, he looks like a senior guy. He's supposed to. He looks like a senior. But why does this freshman quarterback look just like him? And why do I feel like if I let him spin it in game, he's going to do what needs to be done?
I'm running him with the ones all the time, that he's doing the same stuff.
It's different, man. When first week, your first scrimmage, your top 3 quarterbacks get the even number of snap counts with ones, man. That's not normal. That's not normal. Saban didn't even do that with some of your great freshmen. Tua never ran with the ones, bro. They brag about how Tua and all those guys, the class that came with him, used to be on second team and scout, putting up numbers. Putting up numbers. They brag about this. So it's a different day and age. The quarterback position translates from your upper echelon high school programs. I would not be surprised if Keelan Russell ended up getting handed the reins if we are not as elite as we know this system can be. I think it's Austin Mack's job, though, man. That scrimmage, he has a different swag about himself this season. He's getting.
Remember, I told you over the summer, or over since the start of the offseason, that I wouldn't put it past him to. There's a reason they brought him with them, right?
Yeah,
from Washington. There was a reason, and it just felt like they liked him enough to where it's like, look, if you bring a kid like that from Washington, he's the starter at Washington if he's there, but you bring him with you, that tells me that they like him. And they think that they know that. And I think that Ryan Grubb is a huge part of this too. That somebody was asking a second ago, I think it was Eli here, what happened with Nick Sheridan last year? Do you feel some of the blame of the adjustment year fell to him? He seemed like a pretty good coordinator. He was struggling with some of his play calling, though, wasn't he? Not was he not?
I mean, this was
not a lot of rhyme or reason for some of it. It felt like
so he went from play calling for this system, right? Yes, we brought over Kalen DeBoer's system. Mm-hmm. Ryan Grubb was the primary play caller in that system, and the style of play calling was different from what they had been, used to calling. You come in with skill set. Ty Simpson feels what you want to do, but he's not consistent enough for you.
Yeah.
You do Jalen Miro, you say, okay, well, he may not be able to understand this part of the concept, but we can add this with his skill set, and it kind of helps us level out. And that's where we got stuck at. You get in situations where he's calling
He ended up one-dimensional often.
You get in a situation where you're calling a QB read, right? Let's just dumb down the play call. You're calling a QB read, and your QB's not reading. He's taking QB read as QB run. And you keep putting him in those situations to give him that opportunity. And that's where he's struggling in play calling. As far as his passing concepts and the way he would dial up plays, I didn't see nothing wrong with it. The what we had available at quarterback to operate it was his downfall. And he couldn't find the rhythm to get it in. I love his play calling, though, Jason. I love it.
Okay, that's why I was asking. And that's where I would feel like, so here, that's my question. If you knew that Milroe couldn't do what you needed him to do in those times, it's QB read is QB run, instead of being able to throw into those tight windows and stuff, because that's what he wasn't good at. It's not that he couldn't throw a deep ball. He can.
Yeah.
He's not great at that intermediate stuff that needs to be on point. You can't be 6 inches to one side or the other. You got to hit the right spot.
You got to hit it in spot, in stride. But I think it was just the process of going through it. Sometimes, like even against Oklahoma,
yeah,
you get what I'm saying? It's like, I'm making the reads. I'm doing this. All right, pre-snap, overhang, 2-on-3. That's my read. No, you got overhang, 2-on-3. That means you're not going out there. You handing that ball off. I don't care what the front does. 2-on-3, 2 overhangs sitting under. Come on, man. You don't throw the bubble screen off of
count. All you have to do is be able to count.
That's it. But it's confusing
when that problem with Jackson Arnold all last year.
Come on, man. And see, most people laugh at Coach Smook and be like, he ain't no coach, but nobody talks that for real. Everybody talks about, oh, he shouldn't have threw it because Ryan Williams missed the block. No, go look at what the count said. Ryan Williams didn't go block because he counted correctly. He said it can't be coming this way. Kobe Prentice said it can't be coming this way. I got an overhang free safety and another overhang inside, and we got a number 1 on the outside. The numbers don't match up. Jalen, the ball should not be coming out this way. Let's make this secondary support, run support, go and chase the play that's going away from them and hand the ball off. That's what you're supposed to do. Or you make the read off the end and you make a quick a dive cut. Like, come on, man. Like, these are small things. These are small things that I think will be fixed this year. And even the play calling, man, you didn't see Ryan Grubb run a lot of those RPO alert bubble type plays, man. He want to stretch perimeter. That means 1-on-1, jab, give me the ball. We getting upfield 4 to 7 yards of play if we're going quick game. Very seldomly you're going to see the play action off of that. I think he simplifies it for the arm talent. And it's a different type of style of play calling, and all the quarterbacks in this room are going to benefit from it.
Honestly, you can't really blame Nick on that. If you're going to blame anybody, you got to blame Kalen DeBoer for not stepping in and fixing
exactly. And we have to also factor in what Kalen DeBoer was dealing with a locker room, man. This is a day and age. You had Jaheim Otis, a Bama kid since 7th grade.
For KD in this group to come in after Saban.
Come on, man. That was tough. I started because I shared the same sentiments that a lot of, Bama fans share. Like, how are we not fixing this? Well, I'm also looking at it from a coaching standpoint. I can't go in and say, you ain't doing the job, sit down.
Yeah.
And expect the team to get behind me, because guess what? There were other guys around Jalen Miro that weren't doing their job. You know what that does to the mental psyche of a
That's what I was going to ask you. If you really believed that Ty Simpson was the guy, why didn't he end up winning the job at that point when you weren't getting what you weren't getting from Jalen? Why didn't they ever feel like they could sit him down?
Do you feel like, and from the outside looking in, do you feel like if I didn't have the locker room as the backup guy, right? When the starting guy was the guy, what makes me feel like I have the locker room now? It's natural for the guy after the guy that messed up to
come in and like ball out though, and you get the locker room, right?
Right. So it's hard for me. It's hard for me to believe that Ty Simpson is for sure QB1. Yes, on roster right now he might be QB1, but I got text today. He didn't take QB1 snaps today. You get what I'm saying? Like, in practice today, he's not a QB1 today. But that doesn't say much, right? Because we've seen Keelan Russell start practice with the ones too. You know, we've seen in sevens where Russell, Horton, Bernard, Rico Scott are out there. You know, Ryan Williams sometimes is with Austin Mack. You got Ryan Williams, Bernard. Sometimes Jalen Hale is out there in the formation. Mbakwe, who's a new wide receiver, he wasn't playing no second or first team snaps. You know, first week. Now you go look at the scrimmage. He's out there with a lot of first team and second team guys against your first and second team DB. So for everybody that thinks Ty Simpson has it, cut it out. I'm sorry to tell you, he might not have it for real. This is a staff that don't care nothing. It's very few of them from the South. Let's put it like that. First of all, they see how crazy we are about our football in Alabama, but they don't care nothing about what a fan got to say when it comes to their roster. I promise you, because if they did, Milroe would have been benched. Be honest, he would have been benched last year.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, because they were screaming for him. They were screaming for it. Well, and even you're hearing a lot of, they're kind of killing Milroe even still, you know, and I don't understand that part either. It's like, guys, you didn't really have a better option at that point. I don't think that you did.
Imagine dealing with a terminal illness, right? Let's say we got diagnosed with a terminal illness, and big pharmaceutical comes out with this cure, this treatment, right? And you're taking this treatment, and that first year of treatment is like you're barely getting back on your feet. Terminal illness, you just getting back on your feet. You're just getting back to walking. Now, year 2, they say, oh, we got something better for you now. Try this. Year 2, you like, wait, this don't taste like the last stuff. I can't really digest it. Like, this is different.
Right. Yeah, I can't go through this the second year.
I can't. Come on, man. So, and then not only that, you're forced, because you got to go back to work and take care of your family now. So now you're forced to do this medicine and take care of your family, and you barely make it through. Y'all barely make it through that year. You good. You file your taxes. You get straight. But then they say, wait, we got some new medicine. Try this one. Man, what in the world? All right, I'm gonna try it because last year I was straight. I barely made it last year. I feel good. Everybody's what's good, Jordan. And last year I made it. It was straight. I feel like everybody, my support group is around me. My family is good. We're barely making it. But if y'all say this gonna help me, this is what I'm gonna do. And then guess what? I'm not gonna let nobody see my pain or hurt during this. I'm gonna make sure I keep the right attitude and do this. That's what Jalen Milroe went through in his 4 years in college football. 3 different coordinators. One year in a system that was nowhere near a system he had been taught his freshman year, right? And then you come in and you bring in the old system. You try to get it reestablished under a brand new coordinator in Tommy Rees. And then now you come back with an established system, an experienced coordinator, offensive-minded head coach. You get a brand new year 1 play caller in this system that has to adjust the play calling to your skill set and does that We can't really evaluate Jalen Milroe and say what his ceiling is going to be or what his floor kept raising. His ceiling might have been a little bit lower than most, but his floor kept raising.
He's still a young cat too, man. He's still a young cat and has plenty of time to grow. Hey, look, man, I don't know that he's exactly the same as Jalen Hurts, but I don't know how far off he is from him either. You know what I mean? And I was never the biggest Jalen guy when he came to Oklahoma. I was like, because of what we had seen as far as passers and stuff like that. Now, athletically speaking, nobody was like Jalen.
Nothing.
You know what I mean? He was unbelievable.
Different.
But absolutely. And same with Jalen Milroe. He's a different cat, athletically speaking, different dude. So I think it all depends on what kind of work does he put in and how much is he motivated to shut people up? Because I think that motivated Jalen Hurts a lot.
100%. Hey, Jason, I like this comment. I like this question. Do you think Bama and Oklahoma go through similar trajectories this year where they disappointed but are being slept on now? Yeah, hey, so let's do this. I'll let you answer on Alabama from an Oklahoma insider standpoint, and I'll answer from Alabama, Oklahoma. So you go ahead.
Well, yeah, I've been saying this a lot. I mean, I think that there's people that are sleeping on Bama. I mean, Coach Roybal is not sure that he's not sold on Kalen DeBoer at all at Bama. He likes Kalen. He just thinks that it's a situation that, and I'm not in agreement with this, by the way. I think that Kalen DeBoer is one of the best coaches in the country, and I think that the talent is there. I believe that Ryan Grubb is a huge piece to this puzzle. a huge piece to this puzzle. Somebody was saying it in the chat a minute ago. The defense looked really good at the end of the year at Bama too. And this is a defense that they had to learn because it's not like what they were doing with Saban. Never, you know? So it was something that they kind of had to grow into it. I felt like they were kind of the bright spot of Bama at the end of the year.
They were 100%. 12.1 average points per game they were giving up, or it was like 9.1. And then you had the Oklahoma game where we gave the offense 6 extra possessions. Like, people forget we didn't lose the possession battle against Oklahoma.
I mean, literally in the Red River game, Oklahoma had 9 straight 3-and-outs. 9 straight 3-and-outs. So when it comes to Bama, here's where I've been saying. First off, don't think that I'm the guy that's burying them. I'm not. Because the fact of the matter is they still have the most talent of any locker room in the country.
Yep.
They still have the most talent of any locker room in the country. They've got a play caller back. They have 1A or, maybe number 2 receiver in the country in Ryan Williams. They've got another couple of really good receivers in there as well. I mean, their offensive line, I like their offensive line. And they have a play caller that knows what the hell he's doing within this offense. I think that they have to get the quarterback right, and I don't know where they head from there. Am I going to sit here and predict a national championship for this year? No. Would it surprise me if they competed for it? No. It wouldn't. It just wouldn't. Do I think that there's a similar trajectory? I don't know that it's neck and neck necessarily. I think that there's 2 games that and the schedule's rough for OU. There's 2 games that I'm really concerned about for Oklahoma this year out of that schedule. It's not Texas. It is Alabama and it's LSU. Those are the toughest 2 games that I think that OU has. Playing in T-Town is part of it, but I think that this is and I've said this before too, the second year for Kalen DeBoer somewhere has been unreal. They've been unreal everywhere he's been.
His favorite number is number 2, man. He's said that for so, like, in so many joking ways. He's always said his favorite number is number 2. You can always do, you always going to see your real hungry with your second chance, right? You're always going to see your
jump in the second year. I mean, I think that's most coaches, right? And first off, I don't think that they were that bad. I think that they had a weakness and it got exploited a few times, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the biggest thing. And there was a lot of change. So the culture is going to change a little bit, but it's still going to be Bama culture. I just think it's coming from a different voice and from a different place than what you're used to. I do think it's a tough situation with Saban still having an office in the building. I mean, I think that there's some things that are stacked against him a little bit, but I'm not the one. I am not going to be the creator out here boasting that I believe that they're gonna bury him this year. I'm not doing it. I have to see that first. I'm gonna have to see that first. And I think that there's enough talent in the room that I don't see it. I just don't. I think that I think that they win the Natty? Probably not. But I don't know that they can't, though. I don't even know what Georgia is at this point. I think they're ranked number 1. I'm not sure why.
I don't know why a team like Oregon isn't getting more respect. You get what I'm saying? Like,
well,
Oregon showed a
quarterback too, but
yeah.
I mean, here's the thing with Dan Lanning. I'm not the biggest Dan Lanning.
You know me, I'm not either. So
look, yeah, you got through the first year in the Big Ten. I think the Big Ten is so top heavy. And you won by 1 point at home over Ohio State that when Chip Kelly got in his bag, they were unbeatable.
Yeah.
And we saw that in the Rose Bowl. They beat the shit out of them in the Rose Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, do I like Dante? I do like Dante. I think he's going to be a good quarterback. I'm not positive yet. I'm just not positive yet what I think of him. And I think that you have to find a way to win a natty first before you can be a natty winner.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if I believe in it.
I like it. I like that assessment though. What you see for Bama.
Yeah, I think they're going to be good, man. I think they're a pain in the ass no matter what.
Right.
We're going to find out something real quick when they go up against Georgia pretty early on, right?
Yeah. Well, we got Florida State opening the season, and Gus Malzahn is at Florida State.
That's
So
gimmicky hell, pain in the ass football right there to deal with. That is a tester. It is.
I hate.
Oklahoma's got a tester in week 2 also, Michigan.
First 3 weeks of college football going to be real fun.
Isn't it? I agree.
Real fun this year.
Texas going to the shoe to play Ohio State.
That's crazy. Texas, Ohio State. That's crazy.
Notre Dame and the U opening up.
That's beautiful to see again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. Like this is if we're going to be dealing with NIL and portal and all this stuff during the offseason, when we come back, we better have some doggone good 16 weeks of college football to watch. Cause I'll tell you what. But my outlook on Oklahoma, man, real quick, just roster turnover was a huge thing with Oklahoma. But you all go in the portal, you get some quality guys, some good fits, key fits on the offensive side. I think 2 or 3 guys that I think are going to be like instant plug and play. Of course, your quarterback, John Mateer. I think he's going to be a quality guy that you look at the offensive coordinator coming in. What's his name?
Arbuckle, Ben Arbuckle.
Yeah. You look at what he brings to the table. Come on, you gotta hope that the passing game kind of advances. And then with Mateer and his athleticism, I mean, is he classified a dual threat? I would classify him dual threat.
Yeah, he had almost 900 rushing yards last year.
You get what I'm saying? Like anytime you get a quarterback with 500, 600 rushing yards, and in an offensive scheme that doesn't necessarily say QB run, that's a quality quarterback. You get what I'm saying? So Mateer, physicality wise, I think he stands up in the SEC, and he has a quality year. What develops around him is my concern. You know,
sure.
Especially, I mean, you got some juniors and seniors on that roster, but no quality experience there. Deion Burks is probably your most experienced guy, if I'm not mistaken.
Or Giovanni Gibson, I guess, but of course he's coming from the FCS, but he's been a monster so far.
Is there any relation between him and Jaden?
No,
because they play similar. What's crazy is they really do play similar.
Yeah, but his speed is off the chain. His route running, dude. You got to watch that kid. He played at UAPB with a guy that wasn't worth the shit throwing the ball.
Oh, I know. I know about Giovanni Gibson. We know about him.
He's a stud.
If he can stay out of trouble, he'll be straight.
Coming over from Arkansas too is he's another one of those guys that you're liking. And I know you guys were. I remember talking with you last year that you really liked Zion Kearney.
Yeah,
you were high on Zion Kearney.
Yeah,
he's been showing out a little bit too. They've got some freshman guys, but yeah, Burks. If it's starting to look like Burks, Gibson, and now if Jaden Gibson is healthy, and I mean he had a bad injury when he got. I mean it was bad.
Yeah.
The expectation is that you probably get him somewhere around week 3, week 4, and he kind of works into it, which is probably a good thing. And dude, he had turned into a certified ass dog by the time that year 2 had rolled around at the end of the year. He was getting ready to have a big year last year.
Would you see a guy like Choice being able to get in and get some quality early rotational looks because of that injury to him? Because I like Choice too, your true freshman wide receiver that's going to be on campus.
Manny Choice, yes,
yeah,
6'4", he's been killing it. He's been killing it.
Come on, man, like there's a lot of unknowns there. That's what
Elijah Thomas is from Oklahoma. He's a freaking animal.
I'm telling you, man. There's a lot of unknowns
in that room. They got a lot of talent in that room. The question is, do you move that forward? Now, this time last year, I'll just say this. What you were seeing from the offense against the Oklahoma defense, and the Oklahoma defense is going to take a step forward again. They're nasty. They're better on the D-line probably than that I can ever remember them being, really. Even when Gerald McCoy was around, he was a bad dude. But they didn't have the depth and they got waves of it coming at you now. The defense is going to be legit. Now, but last year they were eating Jackson and these guys alive during spring, during fall, all of that. Mateer's been talking about, they've been scoring a lot on them. or they've been scoring on them, but not all the time. It's like, look, this is great competition here that we're having because they're getting some of us, we're getting some of them, but it's competitive. And you know how that is. When you're out there talking some shit and having some fun, it gets real, right? Competition breeds excellent play, right? And I think that's as big. But complementary football is more important than any of it anyway. You can't have one side of the ball is really good and the other side isn't doing shit. You just can't have it. It's the reason why they weren't winning before. It was just the other side, right?
Right.
The offense was performing, the defense wasn't. You got to have a little bit of both. Do I think that the offense is going to be top 10 in the country? I don't. It could be because we know Oklahoma can do that. But I would also say I don't think they have to be. If they're top 30 or 40, I think that they're going to be competing for 9-10 wins.
Right. And speaking of the defense, we kind of talked offense. Speaking defense, I like what you all did by going to get Marvin Jones Jr. Think that was a huge thing. Adding him to that front.
He's showing out too. Daniels is another guy not to sleep on either. He coming from Oklahoma State.
Is he gonna let me give my Oklahoma assessment, or is he gonna just keep trying to tell me what to look for? Cause I'm watching. No, I know you excited, man.
Muting, bro.
I know you excited. Look, he love his Sooners, man. Y'all see, I had to bite my tongue and let him talk about Bama because he was on point. I just want to talk a little bit about him, Jason.
No, dude, I do want to hear what you have to think, what you're saying about him, because I know last year you weren't as high on him, but
I wasn't.
You were also talking about that offense. You didn't think much of Jackson.
I did, and
yeah.
Jason, I want you to remember something because we might be closer this year. I said this would be the year we see the turnover. I said this would be the year. I think regular season record, Oklahoma could be right there, 9-3, 10-2. I don't see them dropping 4 or 5 games year 2 under with this transition. You're going into year 4 under Venables, right?
Mm-hmm.
Year 4, and he didn't come in with a loaded roster of talent. This wasn't a full rebuild, but he really had to patch some things together, especially with the staff. He had to get some philosophies in place. Year 1 and year 2, there was a lot of philosophy clashes, a lot of unbalance with play calling.
Last year with Latrell also, that was a big setback.
That was a horrible setback. So you look at what they're bringing in now. I think the defense is probably going to be stout. I think they're going to be stout. It's about load carry for Brett Venables. We know he likes to get 12, 13 lock rotation wise. Will he open up and get a lot deep rotation? Because the secondary to me looks very impressive. You got a transfer guy sitting on the bench in Kendall Daniels, right? I don't know, is he back from his injury or what's happening?
It wasn't really an injury. They moved him to linebacker last year and he didn't perform well.
Definitely not a linebacker. Put him in the box safety. He's a hybrid strong safety linebacker.
Kind of a rushing safety,
You don't want him.
You
don't want him third phase coverage. None of that. You definitely want him closer to the line of scrimmage. But he's not a linebacker. You don't want him shooting gaps. You want him stealing your edges. You want him tracking.
Kind of where I think he may end up slotting in some certain times. Which is that hybrid,
right?
Hybrid linebacker safety, right?
But I look at the secondary, man, and you look at the corners. Eli Bowen is going to be a stud. Gentry Williams, I think. What's the?
He's got to get healthy, but he's got to stay healthy. Gentry,
yeah, and what's the kid? Jennings. Is it Spencer Spears? Spencer Spears or
no? So you've got. I'll read off all the corners for you real quick. It's
I think this one is a safety though. Robert
Spears Jennings. Yeah, he's a safety. Then you also have Kendall Doby, who got hurt in the Tennessee game. He was a corner coming out of JUCO, but had settled in as the cheetah. You could probably move him around, but what they're looking like right now, you're hearing a lot of good things about obviously Eli. He hadn't been playing in the spring because he got just turned his ankle a little bit. And then but like Jacoby Johnson, we're hearing good things. We're hearing a lot of good things about Jeremiah Newcomb. He's a redshirt freshman.
Yeah.
His dad was Bobby Newcomb that played it at Nebraska.
Yep.
So another sticky guy. He's a little smaller, but then we're hearing really good things about Cortland Guillory as a freshman. He's out there competing big time.
We circle back to the red shirt freshman you was just talking about. He played at
Jeremiah Newcomb. He played in Phoenix area.
Yeah, in Arizona.
Yep.
I remember seeing him. I was doing some very height wise undersized, but physical enough to get press bump coverage, stay in phase fast enough, and it's going to fight through the ball. Like physical enough to set an edge as a corner on the perimeter.
That's what Boganowski was saying on Monday. That he said what he always was saying about Eli. He's sticky.
Yes, very sticky. Stays in phase very well, man.
Yeah.
And then of course, you got your linebacker core. I think that's probably
Kip Lewis.
Alabama has the most talent in the linebacker room, but the team that I know is going to have the best quality production from their linebacker room is going to be Oklahoma next season, hands down. I think you're going to see that's going to be the talk of the town, the front seven,
yeah,
of Oklahoma, Bama, and I'm going to even do this. I think South Carolina front seven comes back with some vengeance last year. They were very deep last year, and I think they had some guys that didn't get to see as many reps, but they got same quality skill set. Shout out to my AAA family pulling up.
Yeah, man. Hey, welcome in Chasing the Bass.
That's my boy Thad. That's my graphics guy right there, man.
And who else we got? I saw Jordan was in here. We were talking to him already.
Yeah, Jordan, we seen him. Look, I told them they know it's getting around 11:30 when practice be over with. They know they about to start getting their lunch out. If they at work, they putting their lunch bags out. They ready to hear what Scoop got. My phone has been blowing up. You seen me in my phone earlier, man.
Yeah.
I think
people head this way.
People want me to they love when I make folks mad with this quarterback situation.
So
they love it.
So your tweet, let's talk about your tweet real quick. The same former player that told y'all that Ryan Grubb wasn't coming back after Coach Smook reported 3 weeks before he was fired that he would be at Alabama was basically saying that he's hearing Ty Simpson is separating himself a little bit in the quarterback room.
Jason, can I get a full screen solo? Because this gonna be my thumbnail. Because I'm tired of folks. You know when I pull these glasses and get looking down over these glasses, you know what that mean, right?
Go for it. Get them.
Anytime these glasses come down like this, I'm not talking about something I heard. They know in chat. I mean, my people, everybody that follows Coach Smook, that's real quick. That's all I needed, Jason. I appreciate you. But everybody that follows Coach Smook know I didn't come into this industry the traditional way. So all of these networking relationships that I have built, I listen real close. You don't have to tell me, don't say this without, you don't have to say, don't say this to me. You can talk to me and I can understand how, like the way that you're saying something, what I'm supposed to say or how I'm supposed to say something. And I'm going to say it right now. Everybody reporting that Ty Simpson will be the QB1. You're lying to the people. Stop lying to them. I understand that gets you clicks. I understand people follow your channel when you say that, but they're going to be real pissed at you in the fall. If you come in that mud and you talking about this happened and this happened, you got to make up stories. Don't do that to yourself. Just trust the process and trust Coach Smook. In understanding that it's not Ty's job just yet. I just wanted to make sure y'all knew that. I love y'all enough to put y'all on that type of time. And I don't care to be right. I just care to get you the right information all the time. And that's what we doing, man. It's just funny to see the fan base. It's funny to see the fan base. It's like you're pulling for a guy. Y'all talk about Milroe didn't prove himself. Well, we're pulling for a guy that hasn't proven himself. Nobody that watches football can go back and watch Ty Simpson against USF 2 years ago and say he's the reason why we won the game. No, he's not. The defense is the reason why we won the game because neither quarterback that played in front of Jalen Milroe could put anything on the board, plus the rain, plus all the other excuses, but he wasn't the reason we won. Let's kill that.
Right. Well, and I think that game was supposed to be for him to win the job, right? Was it not?
It was supposed to be.
I mean, because they were upset. They were upset with the way that Jalen had played the week before, and his attitude or something like that. I mean, there was some. I remember hearing about all that stuff, and then He just, I mean, it sounded like if
comes
you
out,
go out there and perform, then you probably get another week at least.
He goes out there and goes 6 of 19. This is after the rain. The rain has stopped.
Okay, so yeah, there was a monsoon going on. I wouldn't.
This is after the rain. Your wide receiver's not slipping. You're just not. You're not completing passes. You're not making the right reads. You settle down in the second half. You handle. You manage the game. But I will say this: when I was there last week, right during the scrimmage, right.
I've been seeing you out there, bro. I was about to ask you that. What do you see? What are you seeing?
Ty Simpson is a good quarterback, man. Like if Ty Simpson came to OU, and this ain't hating. If Ty Simpson came to OU, I think you have a serious QB battle with him and Mateer. I really do, man. But he's not the best quarterback in Alabama's quarterback room. And it's showing. It's showing. There is no separation.
He would have already established that. Would he not have?
Come on, man. And you, Jason, you know football.
I do think that wherever the race is, they could still. You hear about coaches; they want it to remain a race so that they don't lose a guy in the portal.
This ain't one of those situations.
I don't think that's what this is either. That's what I was saying. I've heard that before. I don't see that. I don't think that that's the thing.
So this is the situation, and I'm gonna be. If y'all want to clip it or whatever, I'm gonna be very blunt. I think this is a situation where they're buying time for him to lose the job, right? Meaning it's yours, but you're going to lose it if this happens. If this is not being displayed, and if he loses that job by the end of spring, Alabama will still have 3 scholarship quarterbacks on roster, and they will. Ty Simpson won't be the starter. He will sit through next season and have to. If he wants to play as a starter, he will have to transfer after next season. This is not a staff that's worried about fan votes and none of that. There's a quarterback. There are 2 quarterbacks, other quarterbacks in that room. Actually, there's 3. Cade Carruth is a fifth-year guy, a fifth-year senior, I believe, 4th-string quarterback. And you look at him spin the ball, right? You put an offensive line. He kind of reminds me of what the situation Austin Mack was in last year. You getting thrown out there with the makeshift offensive line, the walk-on running backs, the walk-on wide receivers, right? Mm-hmm. But he spins the ball. We said the same thing about Austin Mack last year. Looked horrible in 8A. But I look at this whole roster, I look at this quarterback situation, and I try to get people to understand that there's no way as a coach, somebody that's experienced in the game, Jason, I think you'll agree. I have a 4th-year guy that's been playing this quarterback, this position for however long, showcasing weaknesses or whatever. Now, I wouldn't even say weaknesses. Giving an opportunity to 2 young guys right behind him. I don't get into that logic of saying because you're a senior, you're the best. No. If I got a guy out there that's doing the same thing you can do and he can do something else, I'm going with that guy until he proves me wrong. You would be the very first person that has said that Ty Simpson isn't an athlete. When did I say?
I don't really look at Ty. I know Chase Bass is saying that he's a good pocket passer and that can game manage. I don't see him as a super athlete or anything.
He's not a great athlete. He's sneaky.
I also say I don't see that. I don't think he has wheels, bro. I don't think
Me neither. Like, does AJ? How many times did we see AJ McCarron literally get sneaky down the sideline and scramble for 15, 20 yards? Come on, man.
That's not the same thing. That's not the same thing as being an athlete.
You get what I'm saying? That's just taking advantage of an opportunity.
We're talking about athletes. The only athlete the real athlete in that room is the freshman.
Do you think? No, I won't say that because Austin Mack is a freak.
I like Austin Mack, but
athlete.
I'm saying the real athlete.
Yeah. Somebody that can really like if he wants to. If you want to, if you have
Russell is
run game,
really good, dude.
if you have to go read option, if you got to go RPO system, no vertical pass game, Russell is that dude that you want back there. Mack is not that dude. His release is not as quick. He's not as accurate, right? And he's not going to give you the off balance, off platform throws that Russell's going to give you. What Mack gives you is strength in the pocket. He's going to stay in that pocket. When he extends the play, he can give you somebody could be hanging on to his shoulder, and he can still throw a zip. You get what I'm saying? So that's what Mack gives you. Ty doesn't give you neither of that. And that's one.
Well, I think it. I haven't heard anybody. That's really the only time that I've seen anybody say was that you just retweeted that. I haven't really heard anybody say that he's separating. And if you're not separating, I mean, I asked you about this 2 weeks ago. Right at this, I was like, he's not
before it even
separating.
kicked off.
If it's close, you kind of have to go with the young talent. Because to me, if you've got a year in the system, you've got seniority, you're older, you've been in the program as far as all of it.
The fan base is behind you. Why the staff
Apparently.
won't give you the nod? Like, let's be clear though. Let's be clear. Coach Smoot.
I think if it wasn't close, then they would tell you it's not close right now. It would be louder, would it not?
It would be a lot louder. It was loud last year for Jalen Miro.
Right.
First, Jason, you know how excited I was. Well, we hadn't even met yet. I'm so excited. My first day, team reporting. I'm in the conference room. I'm looking. I'm a fan right now. I'm not even Coach
and stuff in the.
I'm government name. Look, I'm government name Hines. You know what I'm saying? Like that's who I am because I'm in there. Like I'm looking the backdrop. Man, I'm seeing reporters that I watch on TV and YouTube in there. Bro, when Kennington Lloyd Smith walked in from the Athletic, I look up to him. We ain't but a year apart in age. Like I followed him. When Mick Gillespie walk in there, I'm like, oh my God, that's Mick. Like Tim Watts, all these guys, and Kalen DeBoer walks in. The first question.
I know all those guys.
First question, who took QB1? Who took first team snaps today? He said Jalen Miro took first team snaps. As of now, he's the guy that's in the QB1 slot. I mean, he alluded to it so clear. And then a week later, how's the quarterback performance? We're seeing growth from all our quarterbacks. Miro continues to grow and separate himself. Like, these are things that were said. I have yet to hear that about Ty. I heard that about Keelan Russell continuing to make those leaps and bounds daily, unflappable, learning, creating plays, understanding the system. Austin Mack excelling. Like, these are things that you can go back and get record of these things being said. I haven't heard that about Ty from nobody on that staff yet. So I'm just saying, maybe for the people that think that's 100% is Ty, maybe they look at Coach not saying anything about it as, okay, we know it's Ty. I wouldn't. This isn't a cryptic coach. He doesn't like to play with the media. Straightforward. He's straightforward. And I will be the first to correct myself and say, I didn't expect Austin Mack to develop this much over this year because of how much that was going on. But I have always been a firm believer. If guys can continue to develop at a trajectory, even when they're not getting a lot of reps, those are the guys that you really want to see and invest some value in. And Austin Mack is that guy. They have been grooming him since he got in this system. So
right, and they brought him with them. That's what I was saying. I feel like it almost feels like to me, if you haven't separated, right? You haven't separated between even with him or the freshman. But I think that I could see them going with Mac because we brought him over here for a reason. He's been in our system. This is year 3 for him, right?
Right.
It's the same thing we're talking about with material. The system he knows it. He's teaching it. He's helping teach it. So, yeah, I'm not saying that it's not Ty Simpson. It could be. I don't know that he'll have a very good grip on it, even if he is QB1.
I think, you know what? After what I've seen, I think he actually has a grip on it. Like, I don't think Ty Simpson is struggling. Huh?
Ty Simpson does?
Yeah, I think he does.
I think he'll have a grip on it, like.
You mean as far as the system?
Like Keelan Russell or Austin Mack 4, 5, week 6.
Oh,
whatever.
yeah. No, I meant you like, I thought you was talking about like the system in itself, like what it is.
No, what I'm saying is I don't think that he has a very good grasp of a grip on that position to start.
Okay, yeah. I don't either.
Job itself. I don't think that he may win it early, but that doesn't mean he's gonna keep it.
The only way
we haven't seen him do that yet. The
only way I think Ty wins it early and keeps it is if you see just a freaking fold from Austin Mack. I think this staff will take one bad practice from Keelan Russell during spring. I think they will. He has yet to have one. He's the only one that ain't throwing a pick this spring.
Oh, really?
In any drill. Any team.
I've seen them getting picks. I've seen them getting picks in drills.
Austin Mack will give you one. Ty Simpson has gave you a few, right? Mm-hmm. And that could be because they were running majority 1 reps, right? You're going against 3 first round corners on the perimeter. You got a first round safety. We're not. But I'm just saying, if he gets in with
necessarily the same thing or whatever. Yeah, I get that part.
Come on, man. But if he gets in and gets 12 reps against those same ones, and he goes 8 of 12 or 9 of 12, no interceptions, maybe not a touchdown, but he's going through reads. He's not having the whistle blown early because it's a quote unquote sack. He's going through his progressions, getting the ball out, stepping up in the pocket, making plays. Literally forward motion, zips, digs, 16.
I think he's got all the tools, bro. Got all the tools.
Oh man, it's hard to sit back and watch that as a coach and somebody that understands football on any level. Not me. I'm talking about anybody that would sit on that sideline and watch this quarterback battle or this team practice and look at the quarterback position. There's no way if you get handed the keys to this team, you look and you about to pick your roster out and you look at that roster and you say, hey, you look at them. I think I'm gonna start with 12. We're gonna try 12 first, then we gonna go 10, then we gonna go 15. That's what I guarantee you everybody would do that. 12, 10, sure. 15, that's what they would try.
I think so too. And here's what I would ask right here. So yes, McElroy's podcast saying he is hearing that Simpson is leaving. The first question I have, has he been at camp?
Greg McElroy isn't connected to the program. I tell you that. I say that publicly, and that's no disrespect. Anybody that feels like they're connected to Alabama that was connected during Saban era, you're probably in the blind. I'm confident enough to say that, and that's no disrespect. That's just what it is. Like, I don't know why people had this sense of,
if you're still hung up on Saban, then you're probably not tight with the rest of them.
And it's not even that. It's like you haven't watched literally everything that went with Saban. Literally died last year. Everything that the way you would have to cover the team when you were with Saban. If you're doing that now, nobody's watching you. So for McElroy to act like he still has this, I ain't gonna say act like, for him to make this claim that
Somebody could have told him that, but who told you that?
Who told you? Because I got multiple sources that will tell you otherwise. This is still very much an open battle. Ty Simpson has not separated. Touchdown Alabama, shout out to them. People, they my people. They wrote on it. And I went right to the article and said, lie. You know,
he has one start. That's not real experience, man. I'm just gonna say this real quick, Billy.
He didn't even start though.
Well, the USF game, did he not start that one? Okay.
Listen, Jason, let's just debunk that. He wasn't even the guy during that situation. You had Ty Buckner.
Ty Buckner, right? Yeah. I forgot about that.
It wasn't Ty Simpson. It was Ty Buckner.
Doesn't have a ton of experience. Here's the thing. He may win it. He wins the job.
You're 4 years
for everybody's sake that keeps saying that he does, because you're gonna look bad if not. And here's the only thing that I would tell you. I'm not saying I don't like Ty Simpson. I'm telling you, I like Keelan Russell better than I like any of them. And I like Austin Mack too. I have said this for a while now that they didn't bring that dude from Washington for nothing. There was a reason they did. They thought that they could win with him, and they brought him along. I think that they probably have more allegiance to Austin Mack than they have to Ty Simpson too.
Jason, get out of my plot twist for this turn. That's literally my turning point for this whole debate.
Bro, it's just like a normal thing. It's a normal place to go. You know what I mean?
That's my turning point for the whole debate. When Ryan Grubbs takes the helm, do you think it's more convenient for him to go with the guy that's just been in college football for 4 years? Or is it more convenient to go with the guy that he actually recruited, developed for a year, has maintained contact with during his absence, and now 2 years now? This is because his first year, he was an early enrollee.
Yeah, it'll be year 2, yeah.
So this will be his second year being able to develop this guy. But in a system that you have your handprint on.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize Ryan Grubb is not loyal to Alabama. He's more so loyal to Austin Mack, the kid he recruited.
Win-loss record if you're at Alabama right now. If you're Ryan,
I'm being loyal to Jim Bob at the doggone barbershop, getting his 3 hairs combed over for A-Day. Bump being loyal to him with his little $20 donation. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk to the guys that really matter. And if you talk to the guys that really matter, your offensive quality control guys, your GAs, all you gotta do is go look at a few Alabama clips from last week, right? Just pay attention. It's not, Jason, it's not hard to notice me. You get what I'm saying?
He's putting his hair down, bro. He's putting his hair down. He's after it now.
Come on. It's not hard to notice me. Just go watch a few clips, and I don't have to talk about what I think I know, right? I don't have to talk about what I think I know. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to be a Greg McElroy and say, there is a reason why I coach. I coached before. I don't talk to all 4 quarterbacks all the time at the same time. I'm usually talking, the guys that I'm talking to 60, 70% of practice as a wide receiver coach, pass game coordinator, assistant quarterback coach. I'm talking to my main 2 guys. Every week. I'm going to make sure my primary 2 guys, you build those tendencies in spring. I see a lot of 3 QB talks with the QB coach happening at Bama every day. I see a lot of 3 QB talks happening from day 1 all the way till now. 3 QB, just small stuff.
Yeah, if he was the starter and leading this thing, he'd be getting all the reps. That's the other thing.
Why would you waste time not doing it, Jason? Y'all, my hair going crazy now. Yeah, I had to pull the hair down because it was windy out there.
I'm just telling you, I don't think it's as close. I don't think it's a runaway, because if that was the case, then you probably wouldn't be seeing these guys get all these reps.
I'm gonna leave it alone, Jason, because I got to save some of this heat for the rest of Bama Nation.
You do that. I'm gonna leave that for you.
For real, man, because you literally labeled the turning point of this debate for me, like with the whole Austin Mack coming over development. I've always had a feeling that he was a little bit behind on the development curve, but overall, Jason, he has the skill sets. It just needed to be developed. The mechanics need to be a lot more consistent. The small things that you can work on.
Year, I think that I don't know if this is true or not. I guess I would. It should be a question. I guess I ask it. Do you think that they felt like they had to play Jalen Milroe
to a certain degree?
Do you like it was kind of he was kind of shoved down their throat a little bit, maybe?
I honestly think if you have to play him, that means you don't have anything else better. And
that's true. Okay.
You have, if it's that close, right? If it's that close, and everybody says, "No, we just gonna." To be honest, a lot of people thought Ty Simpson staying meant he was going to be the starter. Because it was a lot of rumors saying that he was going to get in the portal and go to Auburn and all of this other stuff. If you can't, there's so many different eyes that have had a chance to say Ty's the guy. I just don't see it, Jason. I love Ty. He's a great young man. I think Ty's going to be a great coach someday, great offensive coordinator, great smart kid, great skill set. I think he came out of high school at the wrong time and got in the wrong mix of QBs, and the timing of everything else that happened has put a wall in his career. And this is the time for him to get over that wall, and he isn't over that wall when he should be right now. You're basically a senior, Ty. You're a senior. He's a redshirt junior. He's a senior in class. He's graduating, and he's a 4th year in the program. I just feel like this is a tough spot for him. But he's a fighter. He's a fighter. He's a quality talent. I don't think it's over with.
If he has to win this thing, and maybe it's probably good for him either way. If he doesn't win it, he doesn't win it. But here's what Billion, Smook is out there at these practices. I don't know who this Bama Hammer dude is. Don't know. I know that Smook's been at these practices watching these guys.
Man, Bama Hammer is I think they're SI. Bama Central, Bama Hammer, Bama Online. I talked to a lot of those guys. And no disrespect. And they'll tell you. They know me. The Bama cover team, people that cover Bama
It's not
know.
even about whether who's right, who's right.
It's just an evaluation.
There could be different opinions on what you're looking at and what they're looking at, maybe.
I'm going to tell you this. Those guys never played football. Those guys never coached football. So, and I'm going to tell you, there will be a lot of talking heads in the fall when this conversation is being had. When Ty Simpson trots out to take the first snap against Florida State, there'll be a lot of talking heads that be like, whoa, we told you he's going to start. But I guarantee you, the first sign of resistance or adversity, we're going to see how this coaching staff feels about Ty Simpson, because if he's not walked out in week 2 as the starter,
or if you feel like the leash is short,
the leash is hella short. I think
it's already what's going on, right? So,
I think you know how you hold the pit bull by the chain. You got them 5 chains and you hold him by his neck chain. Yeah, that's why I feel like it is with Ty. They letting him breathe, right? But they making sure like, nah, you don't bark here. You don't even wag your tail here. This is what we need you to do. So it is what it is. I think they're in a good position.
No, this is Mac's 3rd year with.
Mac is 19.
Yeah, he came in
17.
He was on the team at Washington that played in the national championship game. I think he was a redshirt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he was there at Alabama this last year. This is his 3rd year in their system.
Yep.
So again, I think that's if they're going to have allegiance to anybody, they're going to have allegiance to the guy they just recruited and the guy that they recruited before and brought with them across the country. You know,
why do you all think Tommy Brockermeyer?
Thing, and I don't know that I believe that. I think that they may be. This is just a thought, but you could also be wanting to not have anybody know shit. We've heard Brent Venables last year. He didn't want anybody to know whether he was calling the plays on defense or not. Didn't want anybody to know. They never said anything. He didn't even make the defensive coordinator available for the media until midway through the season, I think. It was a long time in.
Hey, this is crazy, T-Boomer. I think you tripping.
Who, what, huh? What,
he said Ty can't hold water next to Mateer. What Mateer lacks in arm talent, I think Ty makes up with, kind of levels them out when you're looking at what they bring to the table. That's just me.
I don't know if he's tripping or not, but I don't know if he's tripping or not. But
Ty is definitely.
I think Ty might be good. I don't think he's as good as the guys in the room.
Me neither, man. But these are Mac is different, and we know Russell is different, man. Like everybody that talks about Russell, we know that he might not be day one starter in the fall. They keep saying
established himself as a dude. Man. He has.
It is a matter of time. I pray for the career.
Almost 5,000 yards last year, bro.
Hey, Jason,
I know it was in the mount. I get it. He's still that dude, man. He's that dude. We're gonna see kind of what happens with all that. But look, I think the question we started with all this on, where are they at trajectory? I love that trajectory question. I think they're pretty close to trajectory-wise right now for where they're at. I don't know that they're a lot separating them as far as the teams and what they're chasing after. I think that Alabama's probably – I still think that the talent edge goes to Bama right now. And if they get the quarterback play that you kind of expect them to get, I don't know that they don't make a big run at it this year. I think Oklahoma's going to make a run at trying to get into the playoff. I don't know that they do, but I think they may. I think it's going to depend on how special is the offense, and do you get extraordinary play out of your corners. And, that's in the back end. I think that the back end is good to go. The safety position is solid. Peyton Bowen is a bad dude. RSJ, you got Boganowski and Powers. I like where they are. The one weakness is you've got a couple of guys that don't have as much experience, but I still think that they're definitely trending in that direction. And that front seven is disgusting.
And they're too deep. across the board. Too deep, too proven.
3 deep in the interior of the D line.
I say 3 deep talent across the board. 2 deep proven. 3 deep in them. Like you said, your interior is proven across the board. I think Venables and that staff are comfortable with the first 8 off the bench.
The one thing you know that they've done since they got to Oklahoma, that they
transformed the trenches
better year after year after year.
He transformed the trenches.
Yeah, and well, they've been better on defense overall. Even
David Stone. David Stone is still a guy I feel like it's still got to develop, and he's already dogging.
He's doing this.
I wanted Stone out of high school. I ain't gonna lie. I thought Saban was gonna be able to pull that one. You remember how heavy Saban was on David Stone?
He was also on Danny Okoye, who is another one of those guys that we're super hyped about. Even if he's not, I think that he may be. He's so athletic that you can get him in and just turn him loose at the quarterback, not give him a bunch of things to think about, and that should be what you do, because you just can't afford to leave him on the bench.
Does he not fit that cheetah build, that cheetah anatomical build?
He's an edge guy. He's okay. An edge, for sure.
Because I look at his size, 6'3", 245.
He's such a stud, dude. He's just killing it, though.
I mean, that's the type of guy.
Jump over. His athleticism and speed.
That's what I'm saying. Like, can you not spot him in some run sets at the cheetah? Can you not spot him?
Yeah, I'm not saying that you can't do any of it. What I'm saying is that even if his development, as far as like the defenses, Venables has one of the most tough to get defenses. Like the assignments, there's a lot to.
He's an updated Saban. He's an updated Saban.
So even if he hasn't completely got it all down in the playbook part, in the sophisticated side of it, don't care. Put his ass in there on 3rd down and let him go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
like what they did with you got at LSU his freshman year, Perkins. You remember what they did with Perkins his freshman year at LSU?
Correct.
And then they moved him to inside linebacker the last 2 years, and wondering why he.
You've got a bunch of young guys that could do that too, but there's some dudes that they've been talking about. Marvin Jones Jr., that he's looked really good. PJ Adebayo, we've been waiting on him to kind of step up and do that. They've been talking a lot about Stone. I mean, we're hearing a lot of good things about the D-line all the way around. I think they got the best D-line in the conference, but I think overall, and that's where what do they do offensively? If they're top 30, I think that they're going to compete to get in the playoff. If they get into the top 20, watch out.
Right. All right, Jay, I gotta go, bro. It's almost noon my time.
Man. I gotta get
already, man. I appreciate you. Look, I can come over here and act up, so that's what I do. And I appreciate everybody for tapping in and supporting my bro, man. Y'all know we gotta collab at least once a month, if not more than that. And
you gotta respond to this before you leave.
Bama, I think talent wise is 3rd in the SEC. I think Tennessee and Florida catching up though. I think you're highest. And you probably never watched football.
There's your Texas guy for you.
I mean, they delusional, man. They delusional as hell. And I think Florida.
Yeah.
Now Florida's getting better, but
Florida is good. I think the defensive line at Florida is real.
They're really good. That's why Kelby Collins left. Which to me, you lose some experience there, but they don't have no drop off at Florida. But then he comes to Bama. He was one of your better defensive linemen at Florida. And then he comes to Bama in a stacked Bama room where he's probably number 2 or 3 in his position on the depth chart. So it's like there's the talent. There is no talent gap. Bama's still going to have number 2, number 3, number 1 ranked roster when it comes to ratings in the nation, not just in the league. In the nation. So, yeah, Texas nightmare. I understand Texas fans want to try to make everybody else fan bases feel the type of crap they about to go through this year. They're trying to it's like they're in this pre-season spoiler mode, trying to go into everybody else's chats and just talk stupid. That's what we're going to call it today.
41 new players at Texas, and he's talking about that y'all are.
They're getting better. Hey, Jason, appreciate you for inviting me, man. I thank you.
I love having you here, man. You know.
Hey, and don't forget, chat. When y'all see me in the streets, holler at me and say, "Put me in the game, Coach Smook." Y'all check me out on all socials.
Coach Smook.
Yeah, man. Check me out, Coach Smook, on all platforms. I'll catch up with you, Jay.
All right, bro. Have a good one.
All right, brother. You too.
Later.
Yep.
Coach Smook from the Coach Smook Network. Make sure you guys get over there and check him out. He tells it like it is. He doesn't cut corners. Very similar to how I roll here. You guys know. I'm going to tell it like it is too. Good for you and your the number one recruiting class according to who? It doesn't matter. Those guys aren't going to come in and immediately be the best team in the country. You guys are high. You're crazy. Go and look at the actual blue chip ratings and all that stuff from this year. It's still there. The most talented roster is Alabama. It's still Alabama. It's a fact. That's just all there is to it. I appreciate Coach Smook coming in. Chicken, what's up, my guy? Appreciate Smook, all you guys coming in and hanging out with us, all the guys from the AAA fam. You guys know you're always welcome here. We enjoy talking about Ed Jordan, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. I think they're going to be good, man. I think they're going to be good. I think that's going to be definitely one of the hardest games that Oklahoma has this season. And plus, it's on the road. I'm telling you, Oklahoma's beating Texas this year, straight up. Straight up. We know sharpshooter. See, there's another one. He's saying it too. Hey, it's facts. Yes, think about that for a second. How is it that you believe that you're just turning double-digit draft picks again? Yeah, you know what? You're making up for all those years that you didn't have any. But how is it that you just automatically believe that you guys are going to reload? You didn't go into the portal. 41 new players, a lot of them which are freshmen. You're not the most talented team in the country. You're just not. Yeah. I know that absolutely is Bevo's bodyguard, and he ain't staying because you end up in the way. That's all you do, bro. All you do. Hold up. I'm going to fix this right now. What's up there, Brinsky? What you been up to? Yes, you do know who that is. Bob Felicia. All right. Now that we took out the trash. What up there, Brinsky? Duke Silver Sooner, my guy. How you guys been doing? Hey, man. Love it. What have you been up to? Be you at work? Texas is going to take a dip this year in production. They had 2 golden opportunities to win it all. Couldn't do it. Despite having the number 1 defense, top 10 offense. But that number 1 defense, I would still tell you, was smoke and mirrors because they didn't play any good offenses. Who's the best? Georgia? Best offenses they played? Come on, man. Until they got to the playoff, and they tried their asses off to lose to Arizona State. All them draft picks and still, a Big 12 championship to show for it. Even on the kiddie schedule.
Some people are really fucking stupid.
It's just the way it is. What's up there, Boomer Halen? What's up, my guy? LSU scares me too. Yes. Hey, listen, I know that coach is gonna hate on LSU and Brian Kelly. And I'm not a fan of Brian Kelly. I'm not sure what they do, but I think that they have the best quarterback. The most sure thing at quarterback in the SEC right now. Yeah. I know, bro. Hey, listen. Listen. I've been telling you. I've been telling them literally 41 new guys, but they have 41 new players on this football team right now at Texas. Many, I think the majority of which are freshmen. And they're just going to come in with 4 out of 5 new starting offensive linemen, I know everybody thinks that Arch is the next coming of God, but this is his first year as a starter. All this talk about Ryan Wingo, he had one 100-yard game and 2 touchdowns last year. We're not talking about Jeremiah Smith. We're not talking about Ryan Williams. It ain't the same thing. It ain't the same thing. It's just wild to me that this is the things that you hear.
He's full of shit.
The guy's full of shit. Yeah. What's a bad season? Oh, yeah. I appreciate it. What's a bad season for LSU? 9-3, maybe? I think they could be the best team in the country. Depends on their defense, man. I think it depends on their defense. I think they're going to be fine offensively. Maybe 8-4, I guess, 8-4 would definitely be bad. And I think Arch is going to be very good. I don't think he's going to be perfect year one. I just don't see it. Oh my God. Who is this KJ CeeLo? Welcome to the show, and you right. Love it. Yeah. Yeah. Oklahoma's going to beat them. Here's the one thing about it. What I would tell you too about, don't mind Texas fans because most of them don't know ball. They're just excited. They're excited. They're like the kid at Christmas about to pee his pants because they finally won a couple of times. And, they won the Big 12 championship. Oh, you got screwed out of that game. But we'll say that. But I'm telling you, that 8-4 at worst, but 9-3 doesn't get them into the dance. That's why the column I wrote, and you guys should go read it. Go read it for sure. The column that I wrote was talking about that I believe, and I'll stand on this and I'm saying it over and over again so everybody can put it out there wherever you want. There's more of a chance that they miss the playoff altogether, even with that JV schedule, than there is of them winning the Natty. There just is. You can take it how you want. It's a fact. Yeah, they did it by design. But here's what I would tell you about that. They cupcaked them, and they needed to win by getting that because I'm going to tell you something. It sucks for OU in year one. I don't know where they end up in year two. I'm expecting 9-3-ish, maybe. I mean, they could have a special year. We'll see, right? I'm going to have to see it, but we'll see. But if you go out and you have a 9-3 season and you've just played the gauntlet that you've played for 2 years, who's better prepared to deal with the SEC now in year 3? It's just, I'm just telling you. Yeah, I disagree. I disagree with this. Ryman, I get where you're at. I'm telling you that they don't look. What do they have right now that tells you that they're going to go out and win the Natty or win the conference or really compete for the conference? Realize that They have to go to the Swamp the week before the Red River game. They got to go to the Swamp. Oklahoma's hosting Kent State. That's an advantage right there alone. Whether or not, even if you don't think that they're as good, you can always beat them. And that's going to matter. And we don't expect any growing pains for Arch Manning. Come on, man. Who's their big-time receiver? Ryan Wingo? Is it going to be a true freshman that, what's that kid's name? Khalil Lockett? I know he's supposed to be good. You think Arch Manning's going to run against everybody like he's, the times that you've seen him in games against people like ULM or Mississippi State? You think he's going to be able to run like that against Georgia and OU and Florida in the Swamp? I don't. I'm just saying. Strong is a relative term, though. Strong is a relative term. And what they're not doing is getting what we know is this: they still struggle with teams that have similar talent, and even some that have less talent. They're not beating teams that can stand toe to toe with them and say that we got similar talent that you do. They don't win those games. They just don't. So when we see that, I would agree with it. But the rest of that schedule, they're playing where Oklahoma's playing Tennessee, they're playing Vandy. Where Oklahoma's playing Ole Miss, they're playing Mississippi State. We're playing LSU, they're playing Georgia. But then we get, let's see, Kentucky they get Kentucky, Oklahoma gets South Carolina on the road. Alabama on the road. Tennessee on the road. Come on, man. It's smoke and mirrors with these guys. I'm telling you, it's smoke and mirror with these guys. I was a year ahead of it on the prediction last year. I'm not wrong now. Watch. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, too. Just remember I said it. You can bookmark it all. Write it down. Take a picture. I don't give up.
I found that offensive, sir.
You can't just do it, but all right. Well, here's the difference in that. The Big 12 was trash during this time. Texas sucked. And when the next best team is Okie Light or Baylor, it ain't the same thing. It's not the same thing. And they're not going to have the benefit of this schedule after this season. They're going to have to start playing at the big boy table. I don't know. Just saying. Not saying, I'm just saying. You read what in the stall at the truck stop? What the fuck? What is this conversation? What? A short. You thought that was a novel? The one about Texas? Nah. You think they beat Georgia this year in Athens, Duke? I don't. I think even if Georgia, and they've got Georgia ranked number 1, but I don't think they win that game. They haven't shown that they can't beat them. They had every opportunity in the world to do it. All right. Ryman, I appreciate you. Even if I don't agree with your, but that's all right. I don't expect everybody to agree. But we'll see. Texas will lose on the road at Florida. Florida will be ready for that game. Yeah, I feel like Georgia will be too. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, that's they're wearing the icy whites. They're the home game. And again, you've got the bye week and then Kent State at home to be, no matter what, no, even if they did go to the Swamp and win, what is it going to take for them to do that? And UGA is kind of Texas's daddy. You're true. That's true, Bryce. Five till midnight. You crazy? Hey man, you better erase that shit. That's funny. No, sir, I don't like it. From Ren and Stimpy. Okay. Okay. All right. I was wondering if maybe you just overlooking that game. Yeah, again, this is that's one of those games that I'm gonna have to see them do that. We know that Texas doesn't perform well with similar talent to them. They seem to lose those games. They try to lose the ones where they out talent you. Play with their food and shit. Hey, Arizona State did everything but beat them. Yeah. That's true. It's a fact, man. KJ, I like you, man. I like it. Marshall upset UGA week 1. I will take that juice box bet. I was wondering if you were lurking in there somewhere there, Shawty. That's some funny shit. Popped in immediately when you heard that one. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. All right, guys. I've been going for a while now. Appreciate everybody coming in. I got some stuff to do before I got to go to work. So I appreciate everybody coming in. Thanks to Coach Smook for popping in here. Thanks to all you, everybody for coming in and damn. This damn wind is still blowing over here. It's killing me. So yeah. But yeah, I appreciate everybody coming in. It's always fun to talk with you guys and the interaction is always good, man. It's always good. I appreciate that. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you haven't. Become a subscriber to the channel as well. We're putting out content all the time, man. You want to be here for it. So yeah, make sure you guys pop in here and we will see you all on the next one. And yeah,